What is going on? What is going on? I am back. Like I never left. All right, special night tonight. Didn't go on last night, obviously, because it was my birthday, right? So I wasn't finna be streaming on my birthday because I was other places doing other things. But I'm making up for that tonight by doing this show. I didn't promote it. I kind of just threw it up when I was able to finally get up out the bed and put together the thumbnail for this show tonight. And I actually changed the title. Originally, when I first posted it earlier, it was just going to be a Q&A, but it was something that I wanted to talk about. So I did end up changing the title again to what you guys see now. And we're going to get into that, and then I'll do a Q&A, and then I'm going to get up out of here. Zup Chuck, appreciate that. MJ's dispatching. All right, so come on in. Let me know where you're checking in from. Let's do this roll call. Get the roll call out the way. Let me know where you are checking in from. Come on in. Hope everybody had a good, prosperous weekend. I hope that nobody get into trouble. So come on in. Let's get this roll call going so we can get this show on the road. It is Monday night. People start filing in. The YouTube just sent out the notification because I just got it. So people start filing in. Not my normal night, but I am going to make up for yesterday. All right, so come on in. Appreciate the birthday wishes. Thank you, everybody. For the birthday wishes. 43 years old. Done a lot in these 43 years I've been on earth, but I realized this weekend that even though I still look fairly younger than what I am, I feel good because I'm active in the gym. I work out at least 5-6 days a week. I realized that generations in the nightclubs have kind of changed. So I'm just, I don't really go out to clubs like that no more. But I might step out every now and again, or I'll go to a bar, something that's more age appropriate. But, you can still go to a nightclub every now and then. And I just realized, I just don't got time for the politics that come along with, and like these politics now. When I was in my 20s and 30s, I didn't mind doing that front door politicking, but I just don't have the patience for it no more. I'm not waiting in nobody's line. I'm not doing none of that. If you're not letting me walk straight through this joint, then I turn back around and go back home. And Saturday night, that's what I did. I'm not finna play with these kids at these security guards at these front doors. You know what I'm saying? So I just realized that, that chapter in my life is over with. But other than that, yesterday, I went to a few spots, had a good time. Obviously, I'm recovering today from that, you know what I mean? So I'm going to try to get this show, in and out so I can get back in the bed, because tomorrow I got to get back to it. Anybody that DM me, I got emails, a lot of DMs, a lot of comments. I know people have been trying to reach out to me. I haven't responded today. I thought I was going to be able to respond to a lot of that stuff, but I didn't get a chance to, so bear with me. I'm going to get to you guys tomorrow. I was laying around earlier today, and I watched Kirk's live from yesterday, and that boy Axel is a goddamn fool. I sat up there and watched the whole 3 hours. Was it like 3 hours and some change? I watched the whole 3 hours. Kirk's live from yesterday. So shout out to Kirk. Shout out to Axel. I know if he's not here yet, he'll eventually get the notification and he'll be in here causing some trouble. All right, so before we get this show on the road, let me go ahead and do my plug. Let me get my plug out the way. All right, so Thursday night, I'm having a conversation and a Q&A with the senior manager of contractor recruiting for Cardinal Logistics. That is this Thursday, March 2nd at 8 p.m. sharp. So make sure you guys are here for that. I've been promoting it for about a week. Come and get your questions answered. This is the first of many opportunities that I'm going to be presenting to you guys to have a chance to interact with executives from a lot of the companies that you are interested in onboarding with, or some of these people I may be bringing on may be companies that you are already on board with, and this is your chance to get to ask questions with the guys who you may not have access to otherwise. So take advantage of the opportunity. Come learn something, you know what I'm saying? And we'll be doing that this Thursday. Make sure you guys are here for that this Thursday. All right. Was just Bama in the house. Happy belated birthday. Zupchet says, "LO, I realized that a couple months ago I went to the nightclub. It's not for me anymore. The crowd looks way younger, and that line waiting for me. Yeah, it ain't wait. I don't really wait in line anyway. I usually jump the line. Whatever I gotta do to walk straight through, hit the bouncer, hit him in the pocket. I'll do that. But for some strange reason, at this one particular spot I went to Saturday night, man, they just wanted to play games. You know what I'm saying? They want to play games, and I'm just not really with the game plan. I'm not with that politics stuff no more. If I can't hit your hand the old school way, you know what I'm saying? $100. If I'm finna pay $100 to get in here, why I gotta wait in line? I'm finna hit your hand. Let me walk straight through this bad boy, man. I'm not finna be standing out here. So you know what I did? I turned around, got in that car, got in that Uber, and went back home and got in the bed. You did. So it wasn't no big deal. But yesterday, which was at my actual birthday, was a better day, and I went to a few spots, had a good time. A lot of 1942. All right, a lot of 1942. So I'm just in recovery mode. So like I said, if you reached out to me, you sent a DM, you sent the email. I got a few email requests for interviews. So I'm gonna probably be doing some interviews. I'm gonna start taking interviews. I've been getting requested, but I usually turn them down. But there's a few reputable ones that I may accept. So when I do, I'll make sure I let you guys know that. Other than that, before we get into this, just get some updates of what's going on. We got Cardinal coming on Thursday. I got another company that's probably going to be coming on the next week. We're talking that out. I got some webinars that I'm going to be doing for Cardinal. I don't know if you guys are going to have access to that because they want me to do those webinars for their ICs within their network already onboarded. So they've already got me on for 2. And I'll let you guys know about that. And then some other things I've been asked to do. So as stuff comes in as I accept things, I'll let you guys know. And if you guys have access to being there and watching the content or whatever, I'll let you guys know. Raleigh, North Carolina business, Crystal Lake. Happy belated birthday, man. I just want to thank you. Drove my first own truck home today. Thank you. I appreciate you to the utmost. Blessings, my brother. Ray Perry, appreciate you, man. You got your first truck. We got to give you an air horn for that. Congratulations on getting your first box truck. Welcome to, entrepreneurship, and just make sure you get on the ground running, and you remember everything that we talk about on this channel, and just get straight to it, man, and get that money, man. So congratulations once again. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Congratulations again to Ray. Brian in the building. We got Cleveland in the building. Bama in the building. New York in the building. Interstate Screw is in the building. Raleigh, North Carolina. Detroit in the building. All right, so let's get into it, man. Let's get into it without further ado. Let me talk about this real quick. I don't want nobody to get upset, you know what I mean? But it's just something that has to be addressed. I was actually going to do a video about it, but man, I just couldn't bring myself to doing a video. As you notice, I don't really do a lot of videos no more. I prefer live streaming better because I can actually interact with you guys, and it's just an easier process to just get on here and talk. All right, so let's talk about this box truck cargo van business accounting laziness. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because it's like I always say, I structure my live streams and my content to focus on where the issues are in the industry that I'm seeing, at least from the subscribers from my channel. I only base my content off the interaction and the engagement, all right, from the subscribers from this channel, not people who watch who don't subscribe. I don't know if you guys got an issue if you don't interact and engage. So the big issue that I've been seeing, and which is why I've been structuring my content, is based around business accounting. I did the cash flow. We talked about business credit, so on and so forth. You go and look back the last few weeks, we've been focusing on business accounting for your box truck cargo van business. Now here's the issue. Since I've been focusing on that because I saw that was the issue, a lot of my coaching consultation sessions now have been centered around that because clearly, obviously, people have been having an issue with that. All right. And here is the problem. And you know this is you. If the shoe fits, then you got to wear it. Now, everybody that comes to me for a coaching consultation, you know, I get on you in the consultation. I say, yo, y'all know how I am. You know how I am about, you know, your paperwork. All right. Listen, y'all have got to do a better job on your business accounting. All right. I'm going to talk about some things tonight. I'm not going to make this long and drawn out. Matter of fact, so that I don't make it long and drawn out, because I really want to get up out of here so I can go to bed. I got a timer I'm finna put up on this thing. Where is it at? Let me see if I know how to do it real quick. Let me put this timer up here. All right, we're gonna put a time. We're gonna do a 20-minute. I'm gonna reset this timer at 10 minutes. When it go down to 0, then I'll go 20 minutes. That's max. Listen, y'all gotta do a better job. I got people hitting me up for consultations. Y'all paying y'all people by Zelle. Y'all paying y'all people by Venmo. Y'all don't have any accounting where you're submitting W-2s or 1099. You're Zelling people. You're cash apping your employees. This is not conducive of an accomplished businessman or a businesswoman. You got to do better. All right. And this is the main reason. Listen, if you made it this far, if you entered into this business within the past 2 years, if you entered in this business during the pandemic and you still in it, kudos to you. All right. Because a lot of people didn't make it. So let's give you a round of applause for that. If you made it throughout the pandemic, you still around, kudos. But here's where you're going to fail at. You're going to fail because your paperwork ain't right. Your accounting isn't right. And this is why you're struggling, because you don't know what you got coming in. You don't know what you got going out. You don't pay yourself. You don't know how to pay yourself. I've talked about this. I've given you directions on how to do these things. I've given you the reason why doing this is important, yet still people are still not doing it. When you come to me and I say, well, man, you come to me with an issue and then I got to break down and find out the issue. And I ask you, everybody, well, how much you pay yourself? Ain't no about. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I was watching Kirk's live yesterday. One thing y'all do know is two things that everybody knows. You know how much you're renting your truck for, and you know how much your insurance costs. Anything besides that, you don't know. You don't know what it costs you to run your check. You don't know what you pay yourself. You don't know how to pay yourself. You don't know nothing about nothing when it comes to this business accounting. All right. What did I say? I said, look, if you can't afford a CPA or you don't want to afford a CPA, get QuickBooks. Pay for the subscription. Pay for the cheapest subscription. This cheapest subscription is going to give you all the tools you need to manage your business books effectively. All you got to do is input the information. It's going to itemize everything for you. Why don't you utilize the technology? Pay the $15 a month. Guess what? That $15 a month is a write-off. You're paying it under your business anyway. It's going to itemize itself under accounting. Why ain't people keeping up with this stuff? Listen, if you don't want to do it that way, then do it the harder way. Go the old school way. When I first started, even when I was starting in a pickup truck, I had a notebook, and I structured it like a old school business ledger. Everything that I made, I inputted it. Everything that went out, I put it on there. I kept a book the old school manual ledger way. until I was able to upgrade. I think the first one I got was GoDaddy bookkeeping. It was $5-6 a month, and I added it onto my website package. All right, and then from there, obviously, like I said, I went with a CPA firm. All right, I went with a CPA firm, and it cost $250 a month. All right, for me to go with that CPA firm to do my books. All right, you got to keep up with this stuff. You can't come to me and then expect for me to coach you and pinpoint the issue, and I say, okay, let's break down your numbers, and you have nothing to show me. You have nothing to send me. You don't know. The only thing you know is how much your truck costing you and how much the insurance costs you. Anything beyond that, you don't know. So when I got to sit down there and break down, okay, what you got coming in, what the account paying you, fuel, all your variable costs and all your fixed costs and all that, well, how much you pay yourself? Well, about, you don't even know. You don't know. So you got to do better as far as this business accounting is concerned. That is the major issue why a lot of y'all are failing now. You made it through the pandemic and you got in the industry during the pandemic, then you Gucci there. You survived. A lot of people didn't survive, but you're going to fail because you don't know what you're making. You don't know what you're spending. You got money coming in, you got money going out, and there's no track record of how you're spending it. I haven't taken one coaching session where a person has come in the past 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever that I've been focusing on business accounting, where a person has come to me with their books in order. It's 2023. All right. You should be able to say, you know what, Mark, before the coaching session, I'm going to email you my books. You should be able to, if you're using a program like QuickBooks, you should be able to just download that CSV file and just email it to me. And then that way I can have a look, and then we can see and try to pinpoint why you're not making money or why you're taking a loss. But nobody has presented this to me. I got people telling me, and it's not a knock to nobody, because I say this to people in the coaching sessions. So I know it's plenty of other people doing that. There's no reason people should be paying people through Zelle and through Venmo and through Cash App. That's not how businesses run. McDonald's doesn't pay their employees that way. They pay them by check or they pay them by direct deposit. Amazon don't pay its people like that. You know what I'm saying? If you work for a city or a state or the government, professional businesses don't Zelle people. They don't Cash App people. They don't Cash App their employees. They don't Zelle their employees. They don't Venmo their employees. They provide them a check, or they do a direct deposit, and then they provide them with a statement. This is why a lot of people are not succeeding right now. This is why a lot of people are failing. If you had some type of visual aid, right? If you actually did your books the correct way and you have a visual aid, you would be able to pinpoint your own problems, right? But because majority people don't have that visual aid, they can't pinpoint their own problems. Then you come to me and then you expect me to figure it out. And you can't even provide me with what I need to help you figure it out. I have to do it the hard way. I have to get a notebook and we got to go, over the time, which is fine if I don't have anything else lined up. And I got to ask you, okay, well, how much you make? How much you spending on fuel? How much you spent on this? How much you spend on that? Then I have to write it down. I got to write it down while I'm listening to you on the phone, and then I got to figure it out. Instead, you could just send me a spreadsheet or a CSV of your accounting software, and then I could just go through and pinpoint. I could be like, this is your problem right here. See this right here? This is your problem. But I can't do that because a lot of people don't have books. They don't have books. Zupchuck, I also picked up my box truck this week. I did see you saw that on Kurt's Live, so congratulations to you, man. So we got 2 people that picked up box trucks this week. New Jersey in the building. Hi, please save the live. I'm just getting on here and probably missed a lot. No, we just started about 25 minutes ago. So really, this was just a box truck Q&A tonight. So if you do got your questions, go ahead and start putting them in there. Box truck, cargo van. I just wanted to get that information out about stop being lazy when it comes to your box truck, cargo van business accounting. Listen, If you stop and you pump gas in your truck or in your cargo van, while that pump is rolling, you should be having your app open and ready. And when that thing clicks and you hang up that pump, you should go straight in the app when you get back in your truck or you get back in your van and go into that app and either screenshot a copy of the receipt. Some apps, accounting apps, will allow you to take a picture of the receipt, right? Or you can take a picture of the receipt or input it. You can go to fuel and input the cost. Don't wait until later, because then that's when you're not going to do it, right? Do it immediately. If you start going to the gas station, you get gloves to pump the gas. Man, make sure while the gas is pumping or after you finish pumping the gas, you go in there, you go to miscellaneous. That will fall into miscellaneous. All right? Or it will fall into miscellaneous, or it depends on the app. It might be miscellaneous, or it could be uniform, right? You can put it under uniform. All right, if they have that category. If you pay your truck note, make sure your truck note, you're inputting that right away. If you are the day you have to pay for your box truck rental, make sure you input that. Settlement day, when you get your money coming in, make sure you put that in there. Make sure you put that in there. All right, make sure you put that in there, guys. So that's it. I'm not going to beat nobody up. You know, y'all know what y'all doing and not doing. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure when you come to me, you got your ducks in a row. Or when you come to me and say, hey, Mark, my ducks ain't in a row. That's why I need help. I need you to help me. I've been listening to you. My business accounting ain't up to standard. It's just not. Please help me, and then I can help you. Before we I have to help you get it. I have to help you get your business accounting on track before we can really, I can source the problem, but I prefer to help you get your business accounting on track, and then we can start sourcing where the issue is. But the main issue is that your accounting is not where it needs to be. And that's why you don't have that visual aid to help yourself pinpoint the problem. You got to do these books. All right. You can't consider yourself a business person if you're not doing your books. That's lazy. It's laziness. We calling it box truck accounting laziness. Hit the like button, man. It's 40-something people and hit 13 likes because I'm telling the truth, and a lot of people not doing these things. I know you're not doing these things because I talk to you. And you tell me you're not doing these things, and you don't have these things to present to me when we're talking. So, man, go ahead and hit the like button, and let's get that out the way, and then we can get these questions and answers, and then I'm gonna let y'all go enjoy the rest of your Monday. So hit me with these questions, and while you guys are getting your questions together, congratulations to those people who got their trucks over the weekend. Let me cut this timer off. Thursday, having the senior manager contractor recruiting for Cardinal Logistics coming on Thursday at 8 o'clock. So make sure you guys are here for that. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to do a Q&A. So get some of your questions. Now, not everybody's going to be able to get their questions answered. All right. Not everybody's going to be able to get their questions answered, because I'm not going to hold him here for 3-4 hours. You know what I'm saying? We're going to, however long he wants to stay, then we'll stay, and then he'll stay, and then I'll just cherry pick, some questions from people that have them. I know there are some people that have onboarded recently, I believe, with Cardinal. There's other people that have expressed interest in Cardinal. So now Thursday will be the time to talk to an exec from Cardinal, and then after that we're gonna have the next company on in a few weeks. Pippi says congratulations on 10K. I appreciate that, Pippi. Yeah, we did hit 10K Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So it was the day before my birthday. That'd have been kind of crazy if I would have hit that milestone on my B-Day. That'd have been kind of crazy. But yeah, we hit it Saturday afternoon. All right. So yeah, so appreciate you on that. Are box trucks responsible for fuel surcharge? What do you mean responsible? All right, if you're a non-CDL, no. You don't need, if you're talking about that if to no. When you say responsible, you mean do you have to required to pay surcharge taxes? If you ask me that, then the answer is no. If you're non-CDL, no. What do you run? You run middle mile, you run final mile? I'm assuming if you're inquiring about that, you're running middle mile. You're not local. So, all right. Any more questions, guys? Yeah, I figured. All right. Any more questions? Well, I'm pretty sure there's more questions, but I know it's a 10-second delay. Oh, where's Axel at? Is Axel in here tonight? There's Axel in here tonight. I don't see him. He's probably on the road. Any more questions? Any more questions about the box truck accounting? Do people have the right software? Do you guys know the software to get? You guys understand why I'm expressing this? Do you understand the importance of why you got to keep your books? Don't worry, Mark. Books isn't something you have to worry about. Me, I have that down. Oh, James, you just got your authority, right? The other day, right? And I talked to Kirk for you. So whenever you're ready, just DM me. I took care of that for you. Just DM me, and then I'll give you Kirk's number, and you can call him, and then you'll have that consultation, coaching thing. I already covered it, took care of it for you. So only thing you gotta do is contact him. All right. I see why you kept saying the profit margin is low. Because I forgot to factor in the tax percentage into the load calculator, and without 35%, the tax profit margin went from 40% to about 11%. Right. So I talked about the taxes. You could put 35%. I say 33% is good, but you can add that extra 2% just to be on the safe side. Yeah. So that's another thing. A lot of people not accounting for their taxes. You know, a lot of people in tax trouble right now. A lot of people asking me about taxes. You know, but if you keep, it's easy. If you keep the right books, right, and you use like QuickBooks or something like that, when tax time comes around and you don't have a CPA, you just download the file and send it to them. Another thing you can do, I'm gonna give you guys an easy way. I'm gonna give you guys a trick. All right, I'm gonna give you guys a trick. A good way to manage your books, right? You got your business account, all right? Whether it's with Bank of America, Chase, whoever you bank with, you got that business account. You got one business account, bro. I hate when people just be blowing my phone up, when I'm on live. Check it. You got a business account, right? Make sure everything that you got going out is going out of that one business account, all right? Whether it's your business credit cards, all your expenses, all the bills you pay, use that one business account. All the money that you got coming in, make sure it's coming into that one account. All right. So if you got business credit cards, pay those business credit cards from that one account. Everything that business has to pay for, all the debits, make sure it comes out of that one account. All the monies, the credits that you got coming in, make sure they're going into that one account. All right. One account for your business, right? What this does is going to do you a credit and your debit. At the end of the month, it's going to give you a statement, credits and debits. All right. It's not going to itemize, each purchase, right? You'll see that when you scroll through for the month where you purchase stuff at. But once it gives you the statement, it's going to have the credits, it's going to have the debits, and it's going to have the ending balance. All right. What you can do then is when it's time to do your taxes, you can print your statements for the previous 12 months and then present them to your CPA or your tax preparation person, or however you're going to do it. All right. Now you're going to have to make sure you present this to them early enough, right? Because they're going to have to go through every month and manually go through it and itemize each purchase, right? Because they have to itemize it, right? So they give you a P&L and you can see how much you spent in fuel, how much you spent in maintenance, how much you spent in let's say uniform, how much you spent in miscellaneous, how much you spent here, how much you spent there. They're going to have to go through every single month and itemize that for you. But that's an easier way to kind of manage everything if you just keep it all in one place, and then you can just download that CSV file and just submit it to your CPA or your tax person, whoever's doing your taxes. I still say get QuickBooks. All right. If you don't have the luxury of getting a CPA, because it does cost money, depending on how big your business is, Depending on how many trucks you got, how many employees you got. Obviously, the more you have, the more money the CPA is going to charge you. If you don't have the luxury of having a CPA, then I highly suggest you get QuickBooks or uh, GoDaddy bookkeeping. It's you can just go in the app store and just find a business accounting app to input this information, but it has to be done. You cannot be lazy when it comes to your business accounting. You can't. And stop paying people with Zelle and Cash App and Venmo. Get your people checks. Mark, should I pay him 1099? Should I pay him W-2? Check it out. Mark not going to give you the finesse. All right. I'm not going to give you the finesse. I'm going to give you the correct way of doing it. If the person is an employee, then you have to pay them on a W-2. All right. If they're not contributing to that business, as far as it's not their truck, they're not paying for fuel, they're not paying for anything, right? They're using your equipment, they're driving your truck, you're filling your truck up. Only thing they do is come to work and do the work and then go home and then repeat that the next day. Then they're an employee. You have them fill out a W-4 and then you submit them a W-2 every year. All right. They're not a contractor. All right. Now, as you scale up in the business and you got a lot going on, can you finesse some things later on? Yeah, you probably can. I'm not going to show you the wrong way of doing it. I'm not going to show you the finesse game. I'm going to show you the correct way of doing things. All right. So, yeah, you got to pay them a W-2. All right. So what comes along with that? Unemployment insurance. You got to pay Medicaid, Social Security. You got to pay your quarterlies on your unemployment, right? To your state, right? I guess I know how my state works, but I'm pretty sure every state you got to pay unemployment taxes quarterly. So you got to do that. Then it also opens you up to dealing with child support. You know what I'm saying? If you got an employee that's on child support, once you submit this information, eventually within a month or two, you're going to get that letter. And then you're going to have to start deducting child support. And this is the crazy thing about it. The state requires you to deduct the child support. And then if you don't deduct it, they fine you. So every pay period, they're going to send you this information, how much to deduct. You have to deduct it from your employee, and then you have to send that to child support. So that makes you got to do more work because your employee is on child support. They make you do the work, and then if you lack and you lazy on submitting them their money that you took from them, right? Then they're going to start fining you $100 a day. Ain't that crazy? So, man, it is what it is. But welcome to business, all right? You got to do these things. And this is what people are not going to tell you, but I always keep it funky with you. So, you got to pay these people on a W-2. Stop paying these people by Zelle and all that. That's not, you hustling. You're hustling. You're not running a business when you do that. You're hustling. You're hustling. It's not a hustle. If you're running loads, middle mile, or if you're doing final mile, you're dealing with companies. The way the company submits you a statement, right, and they hit you with a direct deposit, then that's how you have to pay your employees. And that's just is what it is, all right? So we're going to keep it funky, and we're going to keep it moving, all right? I see why I answered that. Any apps outside of Home Depot for final mile? Apps outside of Home Depot. There's plenty of logistics companies for final mile. If you're talking about from a final mile perspective, from a contract perspective in a box truck, or you talking about a gig based? If you're talking about gig based, then you got Roadie and Freight. You got GoShare. If you're talking about from a contract perspective with a box truck, you got so a lot of them: T-Force, Cardinal, Seva, UST, NAL. I say T-Force yet. You got Pilot. The list goes on. JB Hunt Final Mile. The list goes Capstone, Riverstone. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. So there's a plethora of different accounts. I got a lot of them profile in my catalog of videos, or you can DM me and let me know what you're looking to do, and then I can kind of point you in the right direction. I'm still not on the road. Enterprise has me in the loop for this truck. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you. What's the best software to get for bookkeeping? I say start with QuickBooks. I think that'll probably be the easiest. If you're a novice, there are some apps that you can get that are a little bit more complicated. I think QuickBooks is probably the easiest app for a beginner. You know what I'm saying? That's looking to manage their, books for their box truck or their cargo van business. They were offering a discount. I'm not sure if it's still up, but with that discount, you were able to get the minimum subscription, which was $15 a month, which I think is a hell of a deal. So a lot less than what I paid. All right. I have to go old school with my books because my business account won't connect to QuickBooks. So you do a ledger then. Ledger, listen, however you do it, old school, new school, as long as you're doing it. And the issue that I'm seeing is people not doing it. And that's why a lot of people are failing now, you dig? So like I said, if you were one of those people that came into the space during the pandemic, man, kudos to you. You survived what a lot of people did not survive. You found a way to make it through the pandemic. We're gonna call it the PPP, the PP pandemic. All right, you made it through. A lot of people didn't. All right, but don't you weathered that storm, right, to get to this point, and you're not running your business efficiently because you're not keeping your books. You're not managing your books. You got money coming in, you got money coming out, and there's no accounting for it. And then you're paying your people by Cash App. Like, how are you going to pay taxes? Like, where's your write-offs? Like, how do you know what to write off? You have no accounting of what you're spending. And then, like, you expect to go to a tax preparation place and say, man, do my taxes. They're going to look at you like, how? I don't have anything. Well, how do you pay your people? Cash App. You're going to print out all the Cash App and Zelle screenshots? Like, come on, man. It's not how business people handle business. You got to handle business the right way. All right. So, and it's just not, I've been getting these coaching sessions for the past 2-3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody is like, yo, ever since I've been focusing on business, accounting, as far as these live streams and structuring my live streams to kind of help people get their business accounting, is just opened me up to how far behind a lot of people are. And this is the problem. This is why so many people are struggling. I figured it out. I figured out what we've been trying to figure out for the longest. Accounting is the issue. You have nothing to look at. You have no visual aid of where your money is going and coming from. You know where it's coming from. You know 2 places: it's going to rental place and to the insurance place. But other than that, you don't know. Business accounting laziness is the main issue. I swear to God, if some of you that are business accounting lazy, if you get your accounting together, watch your business turn around. Watch it turn around. Watch it turn around. People making money don't know if they losing. Like, I've talked to a few people in the past week that are actually losing, that didn't realize they were losing until I had to manually go through everything. You're losing. You're not making any money. The money comes in, you send it out. You think you got something, you're making something, but you're not making nothing. You're losing before we even get to Uncle Sam. You ain't got a nest egg for Uncle Sam. So it is what it is. Can you tell us whether we use the business credit account or our business savings account for our fixed or variable or both operational costs? I tried to strategize, but I don't know what's better. Can you tell us whether we use the business credit account? So for business, you want to use your checking account. All right. You want to use your business checking account. Hold on, let me get this out the way. for our fixed or variable both. All right. So when you're running a business, you got money coming in, you got money going out. All right. Obviously, you're going to use your checking account because you're going to utilize your checking debit card to purchase things, and then you get that statement. All right. Business savings account. No, you want to use your business checking account. All right. Try to strategize. Not a lot of people have business savings account either. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. A lot of a lot of successful businesses, when they have an overabundance of cash flow, usually that money is put somewhere else than a savings account, because a savings account doesn't really make you any money. All right, successful businesses, they take their cash flow and they invest into other things that make a lot more money than it would sitting in the savings account. And a lot more things could be purchasing other businesses, buying stocks in other businesses, real estate, CDs. The list goes on and on and on. So me personally, like I always say, you could do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to tell people what to do or how to run their business, but to me, it doesn't make sense to put your cash flow, if you have an overabundance of cash flow for your business, in a business savings account. To me, it doesn't make sense, because it's just sitting there dormant for nothing. That money needs to work. You see what I'm saying? I say it all the time. You got to look at your money like soldiers. Every dollar is a soldier. You need to send it out to recruit more soldiers. All right. You send your dollars out, they're soldiers, they're recruiting more soldiers to bring back, and then you send them soldiers out to recruit more soldiers. It becomes a repeated process. You're not doing that by putting your money in an account and just looking at it. It's just looking at it. It's not working. That money needs to be working. That's how you continue to make more money. All right. So no, I don't promote that. Most successful businesses don't do that. That money is working somewhere. It's not sitting nowhere. All right, so you need to put it somewhere and put it to work. Security inspection communications contractor, day delivering equipment to 3 stores, takes 2 hours Monday through Friday, 1,500, 20-mile radius. Gonna take care of my expenses on the truck for that month. Congratulations, man. Congratulations on that. Do we pay ourselves through savings or checking? Trying to figure out what's better. I applied for you got to pay yourself through checking, because it's going to be an ACH transaction. All right. So if you're going to cut yourself a check, all right, you're going to cut yourself a check. The check comes out of a checking account. If you're going to do your direct deposit to yourself, I don't know how you're going to do it, but when you pay yourself, it's going to come out of a checking account. I applied for Gold Business Card, but I have to fax them my certificate of formation. Their document upload is broke. You must be talking about with Capital One. Okay, yeah. So I don't know. I kind of answered this question, your last question prior. Me, I don't see the significance of having a business savings account. I don't have one. Never had one. All the extra money that's just sitting there is working. Checking account has the money for cash flow, right? They need money coming in, credits, debits going out. Any money that is an overflow abundance of cash flow goes somewhere else. I'm buying other businesses with it. I'm investing into other things that are making money. It doesn't do any good sitting in a savings account. It's just, it's an insult to be exact. The bank makes more money off your money than you. You put your money in the bank and they loan your money out on higher interest rates than they're paying you for your money. They're loaning your money to somebody else and taxing them for your money. They're loaning your money to somebody else and taxing them more than what they're paying you. They're buying property with your money and making more money off your money than you are. So, I just, you can do that yourself. Just take your money, right? Your overabundance of cash flow, and invest it into other things that are going to make you more money than sitting in the bank. I know I keep saying it, but they do not play about classifications. What you talking about, Pippi? You having a conversation with somebody in the chat? What you talking about? I have a Ford E350 Econoline, but I can't afford cargo insurance just yet. Does anybody have any suggestions? I would greatly appreciate it. I have a Ford. So well, okay. So I'm assuming Ford E350 Econoline, is it a box truck or is it a cargo van? Is it a box truck cutaway or is it a cargo van? If you can't afford the cargo insurance, do you have general liability and do you have commercial auto? All right, because you're gonna need more than just the cargo insurance if you planning on running commercial freight. You're gonna need your general liability and you're gonna need your commercial auto as well. Uh, so I don't know if you have the other two. Probably not, but you're gonna need all three. Um, any suggestions, I would greatly appreciate it. My suggestion to you would be wherever you live at, find a broker that's licensed in that state and have them shop you on the market to get you the best deal. Um, don't go with Progressive. It's probably going to be the most expensive. So let the broker shop you to find you the best deal. All right. Usually people on child support dip right around the time child support get. Oh, you talking about child support? I lost employees right around the time I got that letter to deduct funds. Yeah, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. You know, some guys they know they got to pay it anyway. So some guys don't duck it, and they know it's coming. You know, but you know you get those guys that bounce right when that letter come around, and you tell them, "Yo, I got this letter from child support. I got to start deducting this," and yeah, and then they get up out of there. So, uh, career went with insurance broker like Mark suggested and got a really good rate, conspired to big insurance companies, right? So yeah, so go with the broker. Like I always recommend a broker. You know what I'm saying? I think people get scared because they think, oh, I'm going to a broker, the broker's going to charge me. No, it doesn't work like that. The broker gets paid from the insurance company. They get a commission off you paying your bill. That kickback comes from you paying your bill to the insurance company. That's something the insurance company kicks them back. The broker's job is to act as a middleman between you and the insurance company. Like over the years I've been in business, I rarely spoke to the insurance company. I always spoke to the broker. Sometimes the insurance company would call directly if it was something of importance. Like I sent like a lot of times when you do final mile and moving, like a lot of these condo associations, you have to add them to the certificate of insurance in order to enter into the building. You know, they want to be added. They want to make sure the board of directors is on there, the property management company, whatever the verbiage is, they want added to the COI as additionally insured. They want to add it before you can enter the building and do anything because they want to indemnify themselves from any liability in case, you know, a guy slips and fall while they're doing a move or doing a delivery, or if you damage something, they want it covered. They want to be on the policy while you're on their property. And usually I submit those requests to the broker, and then the broker sends that stuff to the insurance company. If it's times where like, man, they need to ask me a question and it's just time sensitive, they'll go around the broker and call me directly. But it's important that, you know, you have a broker in this business because there's a lot of companies out there that you don't even know exist. If you just even did a Google search of commercial insurance, these companies wouldn't even come up on Google because there's just a lot of companies that you wouldn't know. Some of these companies you can't even deal with directly. You have to have a broker. You can't just, you know, like how you can go on Progressive's website and just select stuff and put your credit card information and pay. A lot of these types of insurance companies, you can't do that. You have to go through a broker in order to get these insurance companies. So find your broker in your market and let them shop you, and they'll get you a better deal. Appreciate it. I will look into that. When I get a cargo truck, is the first thing I do is going on loading boards to get loads. Well, when you get your truck, hopefully you got your business structured. You know, corporation form, the LLC, however you decide to do it. You got your authority, your BOC3, your MC, your DOT. You went through all that. So those are going to be the first things you need to do. Then you need to decide, well, you should have had this decided already before you even got the truck. What lane are you going to fall into? You're going to do middle mile, you're going to do final mile, all right? If you plan on doing middle mile, then after your business is formed and your authority is active, then yeah, you can get the load boards and start running parcels off the load board. Final mile is your thing, then start applying with logistics companies so you can get a contract to start running final mile. So yeah, either one of the two, depending on which lane you decide to fall in. What is the process of hiring a driver? Um, I think the easiest way to hire a driver is to always keep an ad on Indeed that you're searching. Never take that ad down. Keep it up 365 days of the year. You're gonna do your, everybody's hiring process is different. You can do your background check, your MVR report check. I suggest that if this is something that you're in transportation, there's companies and websites that you can utilize where you pay a fee and you can just put the information in and they'll kick you back everything you need as far as the background, the MVR report, all of that. So it's just something that you're going to have to get a subscription with. You're going to find one, get a subscription with, or you can pay it one off each time you onboard somebody. So once you do your background, your MVR, you do your interview process. If it's a person that you want to go with, then go with them. That MVR is going to be very important because this is transportation, right? You're going to have to add that driver to your insurance, and depending on that person's motor vehicle report, as far as their driving history, is going to determine how much your insurance is going to go up. All right, when you add this driver, it's going to go up because you're adding another driver, but depending on this person's driving record is going to determine how much more it's going to go up. So it's imperative that you do your background and your MVR report. And it's something you're going to pay for. I never was the person that, a lot of these companies now, they charge you for they charge you to run your report. And the reason why they do that is because, man, just over time, man, it just wasted so much money on people that shouldn't even been applying for the job to begin with. I've always been good at vetting people out and asking questions before I run and pay for this stuff. 25, 35, whatever it is, depending on who you going with. Yo, before I run this, you interview good and whatnot, man. Have you been in any accidents in the past couple of years? Tell me where have you, because if it's gonna come up it's gonna come up anyway, so you might as well tell me now. And if they keep it funky with me, then I'm not gonna hire them. But guess what? I just saved 35, $40. You see what I'm saying? So I'd rather be upfront with a person and ask them these questions before I run it. That's another way you save money. Just don't be running stuff just because a person interviewed good. You can ask them this stuff up front. And if they tell you this stuff up front, then you say, all right, I'm going to run the report. But really, you're not going to run the report, because why would you run it when they told you what's on it and you're not going to hire them anyway because your insurance is going to go up. So should progress just to see it. Let me see. How do I file taxes? You got to find you a agent, a tax prepared person, or a CPA that does business taxes. Just go there. Corporate filings are due March 15th, so you got a couple weeks. You should be filing that stuff. Have been filed or should be filing it now, especially if your books, especially if y'all know y'all books ain't in order and it ain't itemized. It's not something that you can just download and send straight over to them. It's already itemized, and then they can just pretty much drag that stuff into their accounting software, because obviously their accounting software is going to be much more advanced than the stuff you and I would use, because this is their profession. So if your books ain't up to par, then they're going to have to manually go through your statements manually. If you're one of those guys that pay people cash or through one of these apps, and you guys got to print out and screenshot and send these people a lot more stuff, and it's going to take them some weeks to go through this stuff and properly itemize it to see what you owe the government, or if you took a loss. So you just gotta find you a tax preparation person, CPA, that does business taxes, and submit the information to them that they need to start the process. Uh, so how much should one keep in a business checking account? That depends. That depends on the individual and their business. You want to keep enough to cash. You want to keep enough cash flow in case of emergencies for your business. So it all depends on the level and scale of your business. Obviously, a person with one truck is not going to have much cash flow, or as a person who has 10 trucks, right? So it all depends on the individual. If you got one truck and you're making decent money, I don't see an issue with having 10,000 sitting in the checking account, or 15,000. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? One breakdown might cost you $6,000. You know what I'm saying? How many of you guys in the chat now have had a $5,000 maintenance bill? I'm pretty sure a couple. All right, so 10, 15 grand sitting in your checking account ain't really nothing, because a third of that can get wiped out with one breakdown. You see what I'm saying? So, 10, 15, 20 grand, I say maybe after, if you got 20 grand sitting in the checking account, anything after that, you might want to start putting it elsewhere, even after 15 grand, anything else you might want to start putting elsewhere to start bringing in more money. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't suggest a savings account. Like I said earlier, you might want to start buying other companies. You might want to invest in some of the companies that you're running. If you're running Final Mile, let's say for JB Hunt, man, aggressively buy shares of JB Hunt. You don't necessarily even have to dibble in the industry that you're in. You can buy other companies. So I talked about Uber. Uber finally became profitable last quarter, but it wasn't because of Uber. They became profitable. They finally had a quarter where they became profitable because of their investments in other companies. They're still losing as a business as of Uber, but they finally had a profitable quarter because of the profits that they made investing into other businesses outside of transportation. All right. So you can take money and invest into other businesses. Doesn't necessarily have to be in transportation, but my motto is always take a little bit and invest in the company. If you're running, doing business with a publicly traded company, you do want to invest in it and then invest in other things as well. So how much you should keep in your checking account is clearly up to you. You just want to make sure you got enough cash flow in there to float the business and have enough cash flow in there in case of emergency. So I think for a person with one truck, 15, 20 grand is cool. You know what I'm saying? Employee versus 1099 tax people will come for you if you classify right. So misclassification can hurt you. A lot of people misclassify because they don't want to pay the taxes on the employee. They don't want to pay Social Security. They don't want to pay Medicaid. They don't want to pay the unemployment insurance taxes quarterly. All right. And guess what? If you get misclassified or you get a smart ALEC employee who does know these things and they report you, to the labor board, and the people come after you for misclassification, then, it's going to get ugly. I don't have to go into details. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these games that you can play if you want, I don't suggest you play these games with these people. All right, because they're going to come for you when you least expect it. Right when you start making some money and you thinking, man, I weathered the storm, the grass is starting to look green, boom, that's when they're going to come get you. That's when they're going to come get you, man. How can you find a broker to shop you? A trick to finding a broker is you can go to a commercial insurance company that won't. All right, so look, go the easiest way. I'll give you a tip. Go to Grange. Go to Grange website. All right, Grange is one of those insurance companies that you can't get on with them directly. You got to have a broker. All right, so go to Grange. Insurance's website, and then when it says find an agent and you put that in, you put your zip code in, it's going to give you a list of brokers in your area that underwrite or that work with Grange. All right. So that's an easy way to find a broker. All right. I don't think I ever gave anybody that type of sauce before, but I'm giving it to you now. So that's an easy way to find a broker. It's a trick. All right. So let me, matter of fact, let me show y'all real quick. Man, we'll do an exercise real quick, guys. Let me see Grange. I'm gonna share my screen. Give me 1 second. Let me pull it up real quick. All right, so let me come back over here and share my screen real quick. Hit that like button too, guys. Please hit that like button. That helps the live stream get into the algorithm, and it helps other people that need this information be able to find the video, guys. So don't do it necessarily for me. Do it for other people who may be seeking this information. All right. So let me share my screen. Let me move this out of the way, and then let me do this here. All right. So this is Grange's website. All right. Grange is the first commercial insurance company I ever had. All right. So basically, when you go to the home page, it's going to say find an agency. You see it there. You see it there. You can hit find an agency. Right. And then what you're going to do is you're going to type in your zip code. Now it says find an agency. It's not going to be like a Grange agency. You never seen like a Grange office at anywhere. I haven't. All right. So like I just typed in a zip code here in Chicago. And these are all insurance companies, brokers that write work with Grange. All right. None of them are, say, Grange Insurance, CNC Insurance Solutions, Route 41 Insurance Agency, Inner City Underwriting. All right. Joe's Cacciatore Company Insurance. All right. So this is how you find a broker. This is an easy way to find a broker. A lot of people always ask me, hey, Mark, how do I find a broker? Find an insurance company that you can't get with directly, that you got to have a broker. Put your zip code in, and then it's going to give you a list of brokers in your area. All right. And I just gave you an insurance company that you can utilize this technique for. All right. So that's how you find a broker. If you're here in my market, then I can put you in tune with my broker. My broker is with Farmers Insurance. And if you're here in this market, then I can put you in tune with him. But if not, then go to Grange website, put your zip code in, and then it's going to give you a list of different insurance companies, brokers, and then just pick one and, introduce yourself and say, look, I'm starting this business, box truck business, cargo van business. I need the minimum required, $1 million, $1 million and 100,000, $1 million general liability, $1 million commercial auto, 100,000 and commercial cargo, and then they're gonna start shopping you. That's the easiest way to do it. Do all the gig acts like dispatch, etc. need commercial insurance, or there's a way around it? Not all of them require commercial insurance. Some of them do. The ones that require it, no, there's no way around it. All right. The only way around it is by working with a gig app that doesn't require it. Copy that. Thank you, Mark. I thought it would be easier to have the bigger fixed costs like insurance and a monthly rental truck note come out of the savings, or put the tax percentage in there. Where's Axel? Don't know where Axel is at, but yeah. Axel is here. Do you need my input tonight? I don't know. Let me answer some of these questions. You're not gonna keep me on here 3 hours like you had Kirk on there last night. You was on there acting a fool, talking about massage parlors, and you weren't talking about lot lizards. You was talking about massage parlors, and you acted up last night or yesterday. I watched it today because yesterday I was busy, but I watched the whole 3 hours today, laying in bed. Actually, I was watching it on TV, on the smart app, on the smart TV app, and you can't see the comments on when you watch it on TV, or maybe you can. I just don't know how to see him. But I kept hearing about who's this guy. Well, he kept mispronouncing your name. He kept calling you. Well, he wasn't calling you Axel. He was calling you something else. I'm like, man, what are he talking? Who's in the comments because he kept saying the comments. So I'm like, man, let me grab my phone so I can see the comments. And sure enough, it was you. Yeah. So, James, yeah, use your checking account, man. Use your checking account, and and this is what I'm saying, so that when tax time comes around, everything is coming in and going out of one account. So, only thing you got to do is download your statements, print them out, and drop them off to the CPA, or download them into a CSV file, and just email them, and then they can do what they got to do. You want one source. All right. Now, that's an easy tactic that has worked for me over the years, and a lot of people. I just think that's the easiest, most seamless way to do it. All right. I'll drop this link in a minute. Does accounting become easier as we go through the first 5 steps of growth in our business? Does accounting become easier? The accounting is I don't think it necessarily becomes easier or harder. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just a routine, I would say. If you scale up, right, and you bring on more trucks, which brings on more employees, then that's going to bring in more money, and it's also going to send out more money. So the process, as your business grows, the process may be I wouldn't even say it becomes difficult. It just, you have more to process. You got more credits coming in. You're going to have more debits coming out. So the bigger your business gets, the more you're going to have to process as far as credits and debits. I don't think it necessarily it gets easier, but I think what makes it a lot less hard is by having and utilizing the proper technology that is offered on the market today to actually make the job easy for you, no matter what level of scale your business is at. You want to make things, easier for you. All right. You can weed out a lot of people just on how they complete your app process. If they don't follow simple instructions on the app, that tells me all I need to know. Right. So just like I was saying, certain things you can weed out just by looking at how a person fills out an application. I've always been a stickler on that. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't like wasting my time, interviewing people. I've never liked wasting my time, and I don't like wasting my money on background checks for stuff that people know good and dang on well is on their background. And I could have just asked them, and they could have just been honest up front, so I could save my money. So yeah, vetting prior to interviewing is always good. Forget about accounting. These fools bidding 50 cents a mile. Hey, man. Okay, let them keep bidding. Eventually, they're going to go out of business. A person will put themselves out of business. Person's going to put themselves out of business. So, hey, it is what it is. Good evening, sir. I don't have perfect credit. Is it the best to buy a box truck from a dealer or go to an auction? You're going to find a box truck cheaper at an auction. All right. If you are a person who, is mechanically inclined and you know how to, well, that I can't even say that because a lot of auctions are online now. So, with an auction, it's like the luck of the draw, but you're going to come out cheaper. Now, if you don't want to take that risk of buying a truck from the auction, then it's probably best to go to a dealer. When would you project rates to go back up for middle mile? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this year is gonna be a wash. I think the earliest you're gonna see some type of relief would be probably next year, and I don't even want to make that uh, forecast because next year is an election year. You know what I'm saying? And you know how things get around election time. Just think back to the last election. The unfortunate thing about the last election time, we were in the beginning stages of COVID. So a lot of the blame on certain things are because of COVID, but COVID actually propelled the trucking industry into those inflated uh, rates. I think this year for sure is going to be a wash. I think this year is going to be a wash. I think the early signs of relief will probably be next year, but it's too far out to tell right now with all the variables that are in play, like the election, this war, and this Taiwan, China, like this whole Ukraine, Russia, Taiwan, China thing. This, a lot of stuff bubbling right now, and I don't want to make a prediction because I don't, there's a lot of things bubbling, and one situation can just put us right back at square one again. So, but I know I'm for certain this year is going to be a wash. And then as this year continues to unfold, a lot of variables that I see that could prolong what's going on now or potentially make it worse. We have to see and follow those events to see, what happens. Rates will go back up when World War III starts. All right, so yeah, it's looking like the way things are going now with the Chinese back in Russia. Um, you would think we might be entering the early stages of a World War III, right? Because of everything that's going on. But I tell you one thing, then I'm gonna move away from it because I don't like to talk politics. Um, this whole thing with Ukraine and Russia, we could end this war now if Biden just gives Ukraine what they need to end the war. All right, we're giving them money, right? Which is a lot of money, and a lot of people are upset about it because that money can be utilized here, right? You're giving them the money, but you're not fully giving them what they need to win and get this thing over with. And Putin sending in more troops, and they just pushing their way through Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? In order to get this over with, Biden just needs to give them the weapons they need to end the war. If he gives them what they need, then this thing will be over. We in it now, right? We in it. So since we're in it, he stepped up and put us in it. You got to do what you got to do to get it over with. All right. And I think there's a lot of variables that I really don't want to go into. That Axel is kind of hinting at, you know what I'm saying? That, depending on how Biden handles this, is going to determine a lot of things later on. I say just give Ukraine what they need now since we in it and just get this shit over with. All right. Don't coddle them and just give them money and they steady, they fighting, you know what I'm saying? But like we could really end this thing, you know what I'm saying? But I guess we have to wait and see. Well, Axel answered that question for you, 70 degrees. I might consider canceling my business savings. I thought it was a good idea. Maybe I'll use it to save for a big investment like my first truck or a stack up for a rainy day of working capital. Okay. Kareem, appreciate you. Maybe Axel was getting it out of his system before Thursday. Yeah. As long as he did it there and not here. I'm in California. All right, yeah. So yeah, just use that system that I showed you with Grange, and then just put your zip code in, and then find a broker out that way. Mark, my investor friend agreed to that $4,000 loan for 25%, which ends up at $5,000 in 6 months or a year, but said the money is only available in June. He wants to partner up too. I don't, see, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what to tell you about that. I'm not a big fan of partners in business, especially a trucking business. Margins are very, very low. Um, uh, uh, as far as you did mention that $4,000 loan the other day, you paying 25%. So you paying $1,000 to borrow four. So for 6 months, I don't know. That's a hard money loan. So I can't say that's a good thing because it's a hard money loan. You paying 25% on a 6 month. That's what hard money lenders do. They give you a short term payback because it's high risk. So, I don't know, my friend. How hard is accounting with a partner? It shouldn't be any harder or easier than it is if you're doing solo. Once you get a system or you use something like QuickBooks, it's just you're inputting the information. I guess the only difference with having a partner is two people. You got somebody else to help you input the information. So, 700 degrees. I think the tax deadline is April. For personal, I read his question. I saw actual answer. I didn't really look at it until right now. I see Axel put January 31st. Personal taxes, since I've been doing taxes, since I've been working, have always been due April 15th. That's always been tax day. Your corporate filings are usually due March 15th. Now, if they changed anything, then I'm not privy to this information. But personal taxes have always been due April 15th. I think it's illegal to ask certain questions in an interview or application, but a lot of the illegal questions are actually the most beneficial to know for your business. So what can you do? Give me an example of illegal questions. The questions that I've always asked were questions that pertain to what I was hiring for. I've never asked anybody personal questions. I've never asked people personal questions. Every question that I ask usually always pertains to the industry. Have you done this before? I like to ask, I always ask drivers, what's the center point of the city? That's a question that I always ask. And you'll be surprised how many people don't know the center point of the city, right? They don't know the dividing point of the city, what street divides north from south, what street divides east from west, and where those two streets meet, which make the center point of the city. So I ask questions like that. Those questions are based around the job, transportation, because I like to find people. I've always liked to find people that, I understand people rely on GPS systems now, but I always like to find people that know their way around. So questions I've always asked have always been related to and pertaining to trucking and transportation. Can you lift 75 pounds? How well do you work with others? Communication skill questions. And then other just questions just to test a person's aptitude to see if they're an idiot or not, like common sense questions, like see if a person got common sense, because I don't like hiring people that just don't have common sense, because those are the people that are going to cost you the most money. So I think an illegal question that can get you into trouble is when you start getting personal, and I just don't ask personal questions, so. Is it safe to say it's harder to survive as a new venture now than a new venture during COVID? I think is it safe to say it's hard to survive as a new venture now? No, I think it's easier to survive. I don't think it's harder. I think the people that got in during COVID got caught up in that bubble that I talked about. They were in a euphoric phase. They entered into something during inflated rates, and they entered and just instantly started making a whole bunch of money. Right, which ultimately is why they failed, because they didn't have no one to tell them like, yo, this is something that's not gonna, this is not normal, this is not gonna be this way forever. Stop listening to these goofballs on the internet saying get a box truck, make $1 million and this, that, and the third, because these guys are idiots, because they just got into the space and they're making the money and they just think this is the way that it has always been, and that was not the case. And they found out the hard way. I think now if you enter into this business, you're going to one have to really strategize on how to make money. Those people didn't have to strategize. They went and got a truck, they got in and they instantly started making money because the rates were inflated. Now you gotta really do your work. You gotta really strategize. And the people who are getting in now didn't get nothing handed to them. The people that got in during the pandemic, they had the PPP, they had the idle, they came up on bread that was just given to them. They didn't work hard for that bread. All right, person getting in now, they utilizing the bread, the money, right? That they worked hard for, saved up, drawing out their pension, taking out a little Timmy's college fund, whatever. So what? they more they're more serious about the money that they're investing to get into this business. They're doing more due diligence, and they're really going to put the time and the effort into making the business succeed, because they got more to lose than a person that got in during the pandemic just blind using money that was handed over to them by the federal government. So I think now is actually a better time because you're going to work harder, all right, because you're using your own money, all right. So if we have our books in order for our CPAs, it's safe to say we'll get our taxes done much quicker, efficiently, and correctly. Yeah, so if your books are in order, that's less work for them to have to do. All right, if it's already broken down and itemized already for them, so all they pretty much got to do is do a drop and drag. But if they got to go through all these screenshots and go through all these screenshots and different prints from here and prints from there, like you got to print your credit card statements. All right, you got to print this, but guess what? If you pay your credit card statement out your business checking account, they're gonna see you paid Capital One $50 on your checking account statement, so they know that was your business credit card to Capital One $50. You don't have to print the Capital One credit card statement. You can, they might request it, but they'll see it on your business statement for your business checking account, right there, right? So yes, of course, if everything is in order, it makes their job a lot easier, and then the turnaround time is a lot quicker. War is the only way to fix all the economical damage. It's what always is used. War. Uh, hey Mark, do you know how or where or who we can go to for certain government grants for our box truck business? Um, are you a minority? B Logistics says thanks, appreciate your input. 100, appreciate you for joining in. The bright side of starting now is that only go up from here as long as you run your business well enough to sustain. Exactly. If you're entering now, I think this is way better than entering during the pandemic. I think it's way better. Even though a lot of people made a lot of money, but guess what? Those people didn't know that money that we're making weren't going to last forever. It wasn't going to last that way forever. All right, so I think getting in now is for a newcomer is better than a person getting in then. I've never been the type of person to be a bandwagon. A lot of people that got in the box truck industry during the pandemic was riding with bandwagon because you had people promoting it, right? So man, you don't want to be a bandwagon person, so hi, thanks, I am interested. Other than struggling with accounting, what would you say is the second most struggle new owner operators are facing right now? I think rates for the middleman. I think they struggling with the rates. Um, Another issue is people who are looking to do this as a stream of revenue. Drivers, final mile drivers, claims, drivers, well, let's say employees, period. Let's just say employees. So we put it across the board. People are having a hard time sourcing employees. Finding workers now is extremely hard in every industry. So yeah, I think those are the main issues. owner operators are facing. Okay. Yeah, I'm from a minority part of deferred childhood arrival program. What the hell? What are you, black or like are you Hispanic? What are you? What are you? Natasha said, "Yeah, but thanks for the gems. No problem." What are you? What are you? Let me drop this link real quick, man. Let's see what's going on, man. Let's see what's going on real quick. Copy that. All right, let me push this button real quick. Let's do that. All right, and then let me put this here. All right, there we go. We're gonna drop that. All right, now. Did I put that link in there? Yeah. I bet. All right, so yeah, so any more questions before somebody joins this live? We already know who it's gonna be, so I'll go to link. I'm Brazilian, been here since I was 3 years old and can't go back to my country to visit or else they won't let me back in, but I got a work permit. Thank you, appreciate your input. I'm new to this. All right, so James, yeah, you can try to get a minority business enterprise after you've been in business a year, and then go from there. VHT says, "Thank you, appreciate your input. I'm new to this. No problem." Axel about to join and turn into BT after dark convos. Come on, Axel, man. That's what you've been waiting on. Go to link. Let's just get him out the way. Let's just get him out the way so he can get it out of his system before Thursday, man. Get on out the way. If it ain't no more questions, let me get some more questions. Orlando in the house. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What do you say? Get my coffee. One moment, champ. He getting his coffee. I don't know what we be talking about tonight. I'm pretty sure he's gonna go on a rant about how people are taking 50-cent loads, and he's gonna talk about the Russians and whatever else he's gonna talk about. Y'all know. As soon as he starts talking about lot lizards, that's my cue, and the live will end right after that. All right, so hopefully you don't start talking about lot lizards from the beginning, or I'm gonna have to get on up out of here. All right, any more questions? Any more questions before he comes on? All right, let me take the opportunity to do this plug real quick, guys. Thursday, I'm gonna have a senior manager of contractor recruiting for Cardinal Logistics. Will be here Thursday. We're gonna have a conversation, and we're gonna have a Q&A. So make sure you're here Thursday. This is your chance to interact with an executive from one of the logistics companies some of you run for, or some of you may be looking to onboard with. And you get to hear and ask questions from an executive at one of the third-party logistics companies. This will be the first of many. All right. So if you don't get a chance to ask a question this time, then don't worry, because I got more lined up. And the thing is, a lot of these companies have reached out to me. I haven't reached out to them. These companies have been reaching out to me. So that's cool. I got some other stuff coming up too, guys. I'm gonna start doing some interviews. I've been getting requested to do interviews, so I'm gonna do some interviews as far as other people interviewing me. I got some webinars coming up with Cardinal. They got me sourced out to do some webinars for their ICs. You guys may not be able to see those because those are hired. They're hiring me to do those for their company. ICs directly. I got some other stuff coming up that I'm working with some other companies. I'm not going to name the companies right now until the stuff comes into fruition. So a lot of stuff is coming up. As far as videos, I haven't done videos in a minute. I'm probably, not gonna do too many videos. I like live streaming better. It's easier. I can communicate and engage with you guys. I know I do need to knock out a video, at least one a month. So I'm probably gonna throw something together. But other than that, I'm probably just gonna be live streaming for the most part. I think I've given you guys as much video content as far as what I can put in video form. I think most of the content that I'm putting out has to be from a live stream perspective so that I can engage and answer questions, right? So I'm gonna continue to do it like this, all right? Let me see. Is it worth scaling with the way the market is now? I think if your business is in order and the business can scale itself, like a lot of people try to scale before the business is ready to scale. I think if your business is calling for scale, then yeah, if you're in this market and you're profiting and you can bring on additional vehicles and profit, then yeah, no problem. I think a lot of people's issues are, they want to scale. People have this thought in their head, well, I'm not making this money with this one truck, so if I bring on another truck, I'm going to make money. No, you're going to fail with that second truck too because you haven't figured out how to make money with your first truck. I had to explain this to people and they don't understand. Like, well, man, I'm not making money, but if I get the second truck, no, it don't work like that. If you're not making money with the first truck, you're going to duplicate the losing process with the second truck. You got to figure out how to make money with the first truck. All right, when you figure out how to make money with the first truck, then you duplicate that process. You duplicate the winning process, not the losing process. So I think if the business calls for skill because the business is profiting significantly, then yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, let's see who we got here. Let me go ahead and close this out. Hold on. Hold on. Hold up. Let's see here. Let's assign him. There you go. Yo, here we go with this freezing stuff again. Damn, man.
You see me?
I see you, but it's freezing.
Hold on. Shouldn't be.
Well, I think it's Ecamm. I don't know. It only happens when I have you on. it freezes.
Oh, you're using Ecamm?
I've been using Ecamm for the past couple months. But it only does it when you're on. I had QB on, it was fine, and I had somebody else on, it was fine. I don't know.
That's what I understand. I was on Kirk's last night. I'm using the iPhone 14 Pro Max for it.
But Kirk streams with StreamYard. I haven't used StreamYard in months.
Let me hang up and try it again.
All right, so let me answer these questions. I enjoy the live streams, especially when I'm driving during the day. I rewatch the ones I miss. Appreciate the support. What's the biggest way to transition from just being a carrier to becoming a third-party logistics? Well, becoming a third-party logistics that's a big feat, all right? I can tell you after becoming a carrier, you can transition into cross-docking. That's what I did. You can get a warehouse. You can do cross-docking. But to become a third-party logistics, like you got to have massive warehouses. You got to have infrastructure for it. You got to have the capital for it. You got to have the relationships. You got to have a sales team to go out and get these accounts with these retailers. So um, I don't think it's an easy transition. You know, the cross docking for me, the transition was easy because I already had a warehouse. But you know, cross docking, um, that's a whole nother thing within itself. You gotta have a lot of money. You gotta get forklifts, rack systems, dumpsters, a lot more shrink wrap. It's just a process. Um, I don't want to say it's an easy process or a hard process, but you know, it's a process. So, all right, let me see if we can make this work one more time. If not, then I don't know. I don't know why it lags when he comes on. Probably because he's on Wi-Fi and I'm not using StreamYard, so I'm not using their bandwidth. I'm using my own bandwidth because I'm streaming not web based. I'm streaming straight from my modem. All right, let's go. Let's see if this happens. Why is it not adding him directly? Let's see. Assign. Let's assign this. 1 second, y'all. Let me delete that. All right, let's see some. Let's see something here. Oh, he ain't even on here. That's his phone hanging up. All right. Oh, there you go. Oh, here we go. Let's see if it worked now. Let's see. Yo,
I see you.
yeah, I see you
I hear
too.
you.
It's lagging though, but I hear you, man. If you want to talk, we could talk. It's just the audio is fine. It's just the video is lagging. It's freezing. I don't know why. So
The sound is good though.
the sound is fine. The sound is picking up. I don't know why the video is I don't know why the video is lagging, but it is what it is. I think I got an idea why. I'm gonna make a tweak. Probably I can't do it now because we're on live. I think it's the I think because it worked fine before, but it's been acting up with you. I haven't had anybody else on live since QB, but with QB it was fine. It might be the overlay for the live because it's a video overlay. That's why you see like the streaming is changing colors and the play sign at the bottom. So I think that may
Well,
have something to do with it.
when I joined too, Ecamm prefers um, Mac. So on the iPhone, it gives you a choice to sign in with Google or Safari. So this time I use Safari, but it looks good on my end.
It's not lagging. You don't see it's lagging. The video is freezing
Yeah, the
on the
video is
frames.
lagging a little bit.
It's freezing on the frame, so I don't know. The audio is fine, so I mean, if you want to talk, then it's fine. It's just the video is
I
really.
mean, I wasn't gonna, act all wild and crazy. I just want to say, everyone's talking about how to do this and do the accounting and this and that. And I'm gonna tell you, this is my 4 years for my authority in expedite.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna give you honestly, this is the worst I've ever seen it. And everybody needs to be careful what they're doing. I see guys asking for grants and loans and this and that. I don't think anybody should be asking for loans during this time. You're going to put yourself behind the 8 ball.
Hmm.
And I don't think it's a place anyone should put themselves. I'm not trying to discourage anyone to get into the business. It's a good business when it operates properly. but I think there's big changes going on between the brokers, the shippers, the economy, and the comment I made about the war. Whenever economies are doing bad, and our economy is not the only one, there's one way to solve it, whether anyone wants to
Mm-hmm.
believe it or not, and it is war. War makes money. It's not about politics, it's about money. So I would caution everyone to be very careful what you're getting into or what you think you're getting into. I have a team unit right now down in Laredo. We can't touch nothing for over 60 cents a mile. I mean, they live down there in Texas, so they can touch anywhere on the border, but we're not moving that unit for 60 cents. You know, there was a load just now. I know the company. He says I got a bid right now at 950. It's 1,614 miles, so they were offering 58 cents, or somebody bid 58 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Any guys right now that are bidding, and this is not a truck, this is a van. If you're bidding 58 cents, you're done. I don't care what anyone says. I know these costs. 58 cents, you're done. You're going to keep pushing yourself deeper in the hole. The best thing I can say is don't even go down there. But guys, you know, when someone throws a couple hundreds on the table for you, you forget everything else. You forget about what it costs, your fuel, the miles on your vehicle. You just see, hey, someone threw nine $100 bills on the table. Let me get those Benjamins. It's not going to help you. Those Benjamins are spent before you touch them.
Right.
And I mean, you and Kirk, you know, you talking, you try to help these guys, but I think there needs to be a little reality here, what's going on, and nobody's going to talk or say anything. I guess it's got to be the guys that are in the trenches. But you know, I wish everyone a lot of luck, but these rates, they're not good. The volume is down a lot. And brokers, I have shippers approaching me now. This is the first year I've had a lot of shippers approach me. And you have to be careful because when these shippers approach you, it could be a test. It could be their way of trying to cut out the broker. And when it gets out to the broker, you're going to damage yourself. You can get customers, but I would do it on the side. Don't deal with those customers that you're doing that load for.
Mm. Yeah, I fixed the issue, kind of, but yeah, I hear you. Um, I don't suggest people get loans either. You know, actually, when I talked about loans, I told them the other day. I said, you know, I've never been a person to deal with business loans. I've always had business lines of credit, in case of emergency. But I think, you know, when people get loans, they just get into further trouble. I don't think
I
a
think
bu-
even I
Go
think
ahead.
even now, Mark, with the business lines of credit, some guys are going to get themselves in trouble. They're going
And
to keep
and
dipping
and
and dipping and dipping. And
right. And even last week when I did the live on business lines of credit, I also put that disclaimer. Like, if you're the person who just can't let that money sit there, you know it's there and just let it sit there and you know you're going to touch it, then don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Just don't do it because you're going to get into trouble. But, you know, I think a lot of people think that, you know, loans are the way to go. And once they get that money and they put it into their business, it's going to give them that infusion of capital that they need to be successful. And in most cases, it just puts them into a bigger bind. I think a person needs to figure out. I look at it like this: the same reason, you know, that's why banks don't give people loans. They don't even talk to you unless you've been in business 2 years. All right. They want to see if you can survive. All right. So you have to be able to survive. The same way the banks treat you, you need to treat yourself like that. You need to figure out a way to survive and make money without having to borrow money. If you're borrowing money because you have no cash flow, then you're doing something wrong. You're doing something wrong. So as far as these grants, um, you're right. That grant video I did months ago is one of my most popular videos, and I just put the information out there because it exists, and I know a lot of people don't know it exists. But I've always had to reiterate, like with these government grants, like you got to have a serious infrastructure if you if you plan on contracting with the government, you plan on contracting with the city, the state. They don't, for the most part, they don't provide contracts to individuals who just have one vehicle. All right, if you're contracting with the city, the government, the state, they're looking to provide. They're looking for a service provider that can provide work on a city level, on a state level, on a federal, national level. So if it's just you and your little one box truck, you're probably not gonna qualify for what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, let's say, like construction. Like if you're bidding on a construction contract to fix the highway, you know what I'm saying? If you're a new startup construction company, you're probably not gonna qualify for a state contract fixing I-95, right? Because you just don't have the infrastructure that one of these larger companies that's been around has. Same thing with the trucking. You know, I talked about this lottery contract, right? That we ran, but guess what? Like that was a contract that you had to have a plethora of vehicles to run because you're dropping off blank lottery slips for the whole, for the whole this whole region up here in the northern part of Illinois, Chicagoland area, and this is every single day. All right, it's just not something that one van can do. So I don't think a lot of people understand then the pay scale with these government contracts and these state and other municipalities, city contracts. People don't understand, like, yo, they're not gonna pay you once a week or once every other week. These
Yeah.
contracts pay 4 times a year, once every quarter. So that means you have to be able to have the cash flow to float that contract, right? For 4 months, all right, before you get paid. January through March 31st is quarter one. All right. Guess what? April, all right, they have to do the accounting. You're not gonna see that money until May. So the work that you did from January to March, you're not gonna get that money until May. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. So I
N-
100%
n-
agree with you.
Not only that, but people, you've got a lot of new people getting into the business and stuff, and they're hungry to get loads and stuff. Maybe about 3 hours ago, there was a young lady on Facebook posted. She did a load or something, and they haven't gotten paid, and the factoring company won't file on their bond because it was within the state. It didn't cross the state lines, which is true a lot of times. The factoring company is not going to file on their bond if it stayed in state and didn't cross state lines. But then I went on to ask her, I said, what's the company? She tells me a company. I said, well, honey, that company name, a lot of companies have the same name. Give me the MC.
Mm-hmm.
The MC begins with 135. The MC is literally, I think, 2 years old
Mm-hmm.
or 1 year old. I look up the MC, January 3rd, not authorized.
Mm.
So I said, how did you do this load? 2 months ago, their broker authority is canceled.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, oh, that happened 3 days after. I said, well, you're dealing with the schmuck, first off. And I said, and second of all, do you have authority? Of
Mm-hmm.
course, I didn't get an answer. So she's playing dispatcher. She booked the carrier on this load. Now, who do you think's going to suffer? Not the dispatch lady. That
Mm-hmm.
carrier is going to suffer now
Right.
because he put money in for the fuel and maybe his pay and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
probably a long load, and now he's going to be out that money. They're not going to see that money. That brokerage is done and shut down. That money is gone. And I cannot stress, especially now with what's going on, you cannot deal with these dispatch companies. You either have to deal with a carrier, a broker, or a dispatch that directly works for your authority or the authority you're leased onto. Because these dispatchers are hungry like wolves in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
They're going out. They're falling down. They're not going to be able to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And the brokers, a lot of them, they're cutting them off. And there's no room right now in this game to take chances. You taking chances, it's like playing Russian roulette. Just put the gun to your head.
Yeah, there's no room right now for
None.
chances. That's this crypto asked this question, honest question: is there any money in this business? There's definitely money in the business if you enter it, correctly. So the answer is yes, there is money. But you have to do a lot of due diligence, and you have to enter correctly. And then once you enter, you have to uh, uh, take the proper procedures and the proper protocols to manage your business efficiently. And the main thing is doing your books. A lot of people not handling that accounting aspect of their business. If you enter correctly and if you manage your business correctly by managing your books correctly, then yes, you can make good money. And then, of course, you got to make good business decisions. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the answer is yes, there is money. I think, the sentiment now versus last year is that the industry is trash. People use words like trash, garbage, which, aren't professional terms when you're talking about a business, but they use this terminology, but that's because uh, uh, they didn't run their business effectively and efficiently. They entered wrong with too high overhead, right? Because they didn't have the knowledge, they didn't do the due diligence, they didn't realize that they were renting trucks at inflated rates. And then they were running their business like a hustle instead of a business, not doing their bookkeeping, none of that stuff. And that's ultimately why they succumbed to their ignorance. Their ignorance is why they failed. All right. But yes, there is money in this industry if you handle your business correctly. Yeah, you can make money.
Mark, I think that question is too simple because he's asking if there's money in the business. I would like to put it like this: there's money, but right now the question is there any profit? I don't think there's no profit right now.
I think there is. I disagree with you. I don't know about the van side, but on the final mile side, there's definitely profit. All right, the middle mile.
I
Go ahead.
depends what percentage of profit. 5, 10, 20, 25. What do you think?
It depends on your expenses. I think 10 to 25%.
I think everyone should at least shoot for 25% or more.
I think
If you're
in what lane you talking?
in any business, you need. The guy we had a long
Well,
discussion the other night. He says you
well,
need 25% so you can grow the
well,
business. You need 25% so you have extra to grow. If you do under 25, you don't have any growth money.
well. Here's the thing: the industry standard is 2.5 to 6%. Majority of people in this industry that are successful make anywhere from 2.5 to 6%. That's the industry standard, right? So, and those are owner operators. Now, you're talking about a business, you know what I'm saying? Then the big part of the business now, like speaking from a final mile perspective, is employment, all right? And in order to attract good employees, and then in order to keep your retention high, retain these employees, you have to pay them handsomely. All right. So, your margin is going to shrink more now because long are the days of paying someone $100. All right. You can't get nobody to come to work for less than 150 now. All right. So your margins are going to shrink now but here's the thing. If I got a truck running and if I got a truck running and I'm making $100 to $150 off that truck a day, I'm cool with it because I've always operated at scale anyway. So I'm making that times however many trucks, and that's how I tell people to do it. But then you got the issue now; it's hard to scale, right? It's hard to scale because it's hard to find the people to scale. So I don't think the issue is uh making money. The money is there. I think the issue is uh when you're speaking from a business perspective, employment, finding and keeping the employees. I think there's other issues in the industry that are preventing people that are actually going out doing the right thing and running their business and preventing them from growing their business um outside of the money. The money's there. The money's there. So at least in final mile, it's there. So middle mile, I understand the rates are bad. Amazon, yo, we already talked about this. I don't even talk about Amazon no more. I told y'all what was going to happen with that. Um, your van thing, you're the specialist on the van, so But there's money there. The money is where people don't want to work. The money has always been in the lane where most people don't want to get into. It is what it is.
The problem with the vans is you got guys getting in and you can run those vans, but they're running cheap and they're not going to feel it till after a little while when they can't pay the van payments, the insurance, and they wake up one day and that van has 200,000 miles on it and they've only had it for 1 year. And then when it breaks down, a lot of them get the vans, they don't have warranties, so they're going to get put out. I want everyone to do good, but there's a lot of guys they're going down. This, and again, I'm speaking from the expedite, from the van side. I know a guy, one of the biggest companies, 2.5 billion in revenue, Ascent. If anyone knows Ascent, they run the auto board. Guy signed on with him. Any long loads, uh, then they like to send their guys down to Laredo and to California and stuff. They
Mm-hmm.
only pay him max 80 cents a mile.
Hmm.
And they told him we have 4,000 customers, slapped the stickers on his van, gave him the Omnitrax unit in his van. Thursday he sat, Friday he sat, and he told them, look, you guys said you have 4,000 customers, yet I haven't even been offered one load. Oh, you have 3 vans in front of you. He said, when can I drop off my stuff? He says, I cannot run this van for 80 cents, and I'm signed on with you, and you're my only source of income to come in. And he has his own authority. He kept it active. He's going to go back to doing his own thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when a big company that has 2.5 billion in revenue is telling these drivers they're only paying 80 cents for a van, I used to always run my guys for $1 plus. They always cleared $1 plus.
Mm-hmm.
But I see more and more the big guys, they don't care. They're going to take their percentage. And I see guys out here, they pick on the little guys that are trying to build when they should be picking on the big guys, because the big guys are the ones lying. The big guys are the ones that don't show the rate cons. And it's just, guys, you cannot run for those prices. I hate to tell it to you, but you can't.
It's a
Not in the
doggy.
vans.
It's a doggy dog world. So
Yeah, but there's no bones for the dogs anymore.
you got to be aggressive out here nowadays. It's definitely gotten a lot tougher. You know what I'm saying? So to people that are entering into the space now, you definitely have to approach it with a more aggressive
Even
attitude. If you
even
want to
Load
succeed.
One that promotes themselves as the big expedite company. I've seen screenshots internally from their guys getting 75 cents a mile. That's what they're offering some of their guys.
People are taking it. So
Yeah, oh yeah, there's always going to be guys that take it. But the guys usually that they could have fleet owners, and the fleet owner is going to take that loss. He's going to make the little bit of change, but that driver is going to drive like a dog for that money.
yeah, I don't see
And
how
I
you
mean, you
guys
can.
do it. I mean, you guys get a lot of respect from me. That expedite lane, y'all drive like man, like you get nothing but respect from me. So, but
Last week I cleared close to 3,000. I average with my deadhead every mile counted,
yeah,
$1.17 a mile.
I heard you say that
And
on Kirk's channel yesterday.
yeah, so when guys are taking 58, 60, 70 cents a mile, they're doing twice as much work for half the price.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mark, in your professional opinion, there's a lot of work. Is there a lot of work in the Pacific Northwest? Where are you at in the Pacific Northwest? What is that, like Maine, uh, Massachusetts, up in that area?
Northwest, he said, probably like Oregon and Montana and stuff.
Oh, he said Northwest. I'm thinking about Northeast, right? So you're
Yeah.
talking about yes, okay. So Montana. What lane are you talking? Now, if you're talking middle mile outbound, probably not. Outbound freight, probably not. Now, if you're talking final mile, there's definitely going to be work, but the volume may not uh be there in comparison to larger markets like New York, LA, Chicago, Houston. But there'll be some work for a cargo van. So it depends on the lane you're looking to enter. Outbound freight coming out of the Northwest, probably not. It's just not industrial enough. Inbound, yeah, you're coming in, but outbound, probably not. And then final mile, if you're in a cargo van, I'm sure there's work, but your rates may not be equivalent to those in larger markets, and the volume is not going to be there. And because the volume is
He
not there,
said
rates aren't going to be there. So
he said Seattle. And,
Seattle.
o-
Oh, well
and
then
OCS, what about the Midwest, Cleveland, Ohio? Well, I'm in
Midwest is,
Cleveland, Ohio.
well, you're in Cleveland, right? So Seattle is a Seattle. If you're doing cargo van, then yeah, I think if you get an office contract with Seattle, there's money. That's kind of like a tech city because Amazon is there, right? Amazon is there. You got some other corporate places there. So if you're running cargo vans, I think if you do like an office contract, like with Office Depot or Staples, I think you can find a pretty decent route because it's a tech city and you got major corporate players that are HQ'd there. So yes, and that goes into the due diligence of you getting into the business. Just based off you telling me Seattle, I know Amazon is there. I know a couple other companies are HQ'd there, and this is the due diligence you would have to do. So boom, first thing that comes to mind with a cargo van is office supply. All right, now granted, Amazon is Amazon. They probably do everything in house there. So you might want to look into Office Depot. You might want to look into Staples, or maybe if you got some money saved up, maybe you might want to take on a DSP contract. Since you're in the mecca in the capital for Amazon, there may be opportunity for you there that people in the other regions of the country may not have because you're there in the mecca. So you might want to look into opportunities there, maybe buying into a DSP contract there. As far as the Midwest is concerned, yes, there's work in the Midwest because the Midwest is industrial. So whether you're talking about middle mile, outbound freight, you pick a state: Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Yeah, there's outbound. Final mile, yeah, there's going to be work. Obviously, there's going to be more volume in your larger markets, but either way, you're cool out of the Midwest. It's always been known that there's money in the Midwest in trucking. Cleveland is your city, so
I mean, lately I got a lot of units in expedite side from out of state, from California and the Carolinas, hanging around up here, and they've been pushing our prices down up here.
you know why? Because everybody has to go to the Midwest to make money.
Yeah, but even here today, out of Ohio area, it was very limited for the vans. In Chicago, I'm staying clear away from there. They killed it up there right now.
You'll get killed up
Now I'm
here.
talking about I'm talking about the prices. They're
Oh,
killing it up there right now.
I'm going to be swearing, McDonald's breakfast hot cakes, knowing all these margins, first day on the road from stress alone. I wouldn't stress out about it. You're gonna have a learning curve that you're gonna have to go through. All right, but you wanna cure that learning curve as soon as possible. Everybody goes through it. So just understand that you're probably gonna take a few losses at the beginning because you have to learn the system, learn the way things work. That's just the nature of the business and part of the game. So can we schedule a call? Yeah, go on my website, www.boxtruckcourses.com, and you can set something up. Yep.
I
So
think if you're running one unit and you're not scared to work, you'll have a greater chance than a lot of other people. If you're trying to do multiple trucks and getting in new,
hmm
it's gonna be very dangerous.
yeah, I think the issue is a lot of people want to scale too fast, and ultimately they fail because of that. I think mastering one truck right now is very important. I think I'm gonna be honest with you. Some people may disagree, but I gotta keep it 1,000. I think entering into this space now, a lot of people that have the thought that they can enter into this space as a stream of revenue, get a truck, put somebody in it, and make money. I don't think this industry right now is at that point. The margins aren't there for it. I think if you're entering into this industry now, I think ultimately you need to be behind the wheel of that first truck. You gotta be. All right, you have to
Yeah.
be. I don't think there's enough uh room there right now in your very first truck, right? Your very first truck, where you can put someone behind the wheel and think you're gonna be successful. You know, some people are gonna disagree with me. I had 4 people during the pandemic that I told that to, and I was all type of haters and you don't know everything. And guess what? None of them lasted 6 months. So they didn't last. They were asking me to buy they trucks off of them. You know what I'm saying? Because they thought they came into this space where they thought, believing these people, they could buy a truck and put somebody behind the wheel and they were gonna make money. And just don't work like that, man. So not no more. It's just the margins aren't there in the first truck. That first truck you got to run it yourself.
Yeah.
Can you
Not
live
only
off
that,
one
just not
truck?
even not even just to run it for yourself, but if they don't even know the business, you should try to at least run that truck for 1 year,
I tell
so
them
you
that
can know
too.
the states, the routes, the rates, everything.
I tell them that too, but there's people on the internet that say, "Oh, get you a truck and put you a driver in it," and then there's a stream of revenue that you're making while you're off doing something else, and it's just not like this is no longer an intermediate. Uh, you know, this isn't a business where you can enter into it with an intermediate uh, uh, level of knowledge. Like this is a very advanced industry now. You have to enter into this industry doing the proper research. It's advanced now. It's more difficult. The cost of entry is higher now, which means you have to uh, 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 your time frame of when you're entering into the business and actually getting the understanding and trying to become profitable. That learning curve has to diminish now. All right, it has to diminish now. It's advanced now. It's not easy like how when I got in back in the day. Even then you had to do some due diligence, but because the cost of entry was a lot cheaper. You had a longer span of time where you could go through that learning phase. Whereas now, it's tens of thousands of dollars to enter into this space. You got people saying that you can enter into this space for less than $5,000. And that's just not true. You know what I'm saying? That's just not true. $5,000 is not even going enough money to get you through the learning curve. So, I don't know. Can you live off of one truck if you master it? Yes, I think you can. Now, how you live, that's a different thing. But can you survive, make money, pay yourself, and pay yourself enough to be able to pay your bills, your rent, and your utilities and stuff like that? I think yes. Now, will you be living in a penthouse, on Fifth Avenue in New York? No, no, that's gonna require uh require time, and that's gonna require a person who's at scale. All right. Uh, but yeah, I think you can make a fair living and pay your bills if you enter into the space correctly and you take care of your business and you work. Yeah. So you can definitely live off one truck, James. Just run it right. Know your profit margin. Stick to it. Correct. Jason, have you been in the Blue Beacon recently? Who is Jason?
That's me. I know who they are.
Oh, these some of your people.
That's another carrier. I know who they are. They're all right.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Inside joke. Inside
Oh,
joke.
oh, okay. All right, I'm like, who's Jason? So that's your real name, Axel? Jason?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
I didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah. But everyone calls me Axel. So
okay. All right, all right. All right. So yeah. So other than that, man, any more questions, guys? Let me see. Tomorrow, if I don't get this truck, I'm going to have to purchase a consultation, not for mentoring, but for business, mental health, therapy. I'm 10 days into insurance with no truck. Unbelievable. What happened to the
James
truck?
got a lot of questions all the time. Are you working with this guy?
No. Are you feeling as far as coaching them?
Yeah, he's got a lot of questions all the
There's
time.
nothing wrong with a lot of questions. That's
No,
how
I
you learn.
agree.
That's how you learn. I salute him.
I think you gotta.
Because he has so many questions and he wants to go middle mile. I told him I'd pay for him a consultation with Kirk. I reached
Oh,
out to
that's that
Kirk.
guy. Okay, I remember
Yeah,
him now.
so I reached out to Kirk Friday and it's squared away. Whenever James wants the consultation, he can go have it. All you gotta do, James, is DM me and I'll give you Kirk's number. I'm not gonna put his number in the chat. So DM me and if you got Instagram, DM me. If you got Facebook, then just message me and then I'm gonna send you Kirk's number and he said he'd be waiting on you. It's already taken care of. So yeah, man, I don't that's what I come on here for. I don't care who asked the questions. You know what I'm saying? It could be the same person. It's like
Mark, can you put my email up there for OC's out of Cleveland? He's asking.
yeah, I'll put it up there. Oh, let me see. Uh, Big D saw you at Blue Beacon. Man, is it
Yeah,
Jason? Is it Big D? Is it wait, hold on, Big
uh,
D?
he's he,
Is
he's
that a
talking about
joke?
this old guy that has dementia that used to pump everybody up in expedite and talking about you can make money with 85 cents. And 3 months later, he sold his van. He's out of the business and he's been as quiet as a mouse in a hole.
Mm.
You
It's
know,
Axel
because
dot
and that's
live show at Gmail, right?
yeah, and that's the problem. A lot of these guys listen to a lot of these YouTube guys about the business, and a lot of these guys that talk about the van business, especially the expedite, a lot of them don't even have authority, or they haven't even had their authority for a year yet. So why would you want to take advice from them?
I don't know. Same
I've
thing
been
with
doing
the
it over
box truck.
40. Yeah, deal with people who's been around. I haven't been in it 20 years, but I got 4 years. I've never had my insurance or anything lapse. I'm still moving. I'm chilling. I'm at home.
Yeah, same thing with
You
the
know.
box truck. I it just behooved me how so many people, and people still do. They pay into these mentorships with these people that have only been in the business a couple of years, a year, 2 years, whatever. Like, I don't knock nobody's hustle, but I just think experience is always going to weigh more when you're looking for certain things. You know what I'm saying? But to each his own. But don't complain when you spend all this money and you don't get the value that you expect. Um, from a person that people that show you their journey. These people ain't hiding nothing from you. Some people are uh what's the word I'm looking for? They're like con artists, I
Oh,
guess.
you put the email wrong.
I did. Axel.liveshow at Gmail.
Yeah, you put Alex.
Oh, well,
It's Axel, AXEL.
Axel. Axel.live show at Gmail.
Pippi caught that.
At gmail.com. All right. There we go. Yeah, so I think same thing over here. I think, experience is gonna always be your best teacher. So, but it's to each his own. I don't care. I don't do mentorships anyway. I only do consultation coaching. I'm not gonna do no mentorship. I don't really care, about it. I don't need the bread. I don't need to charge nobody $5,000, $10,000. I'll just come on live stream and answer all your questions and do my presentations for free. If you want like a one-on-one type strategy coaching thing, then go ahead and book a consultation.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
mentorship ain't my thing. I'm not doing it.
even
I have no desire to do it.
even if you take the time to do the live stream, I mean, everybody should be hitting that like button. Send the guy $5 or something for a coffee. He's putting out a lot of good. No, seriously, I mean, he put out time and effort, and a little donation here and there to help support your channel. I think it's worth it. People want to spend thousands of dollars and this and that. 5 or 10 bucks.
I don't ask for anything. You know what I'm saying?
I have no I have no agreement with Mark to promote his channel. I'm just saying it would be nice, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good. I do this to help people out.
Yeah.
It's like my way of doing philanthropy. You know what I'm saying? But hey man, to
Just
each his own. People want to go spend 10 grand, 12 grand, whatever, 5,000, 1,200, whatever these people are charging. That's on you. That's on them.
no,
You know what I'm
just be
saying? So
nice. Someone sent you $5. The next time on the stream, we see a Starbucks coffee sitting next to you.
some people do those little super chats, super
Yeah,
chats here and there. But I've never been the one. If you watch all my content, I don't push products on people. I don't think people like when you push, because I don't like people pushing stuff on me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not here to make money off of people that are already struggling. You know what I'm saying? To begin with, I people know. Look, I got consultation and coaching. You see me flash my banner up at the beginning of my live stream, and that's it. I take it down. I don't plaster it all over. I don't stop and say, "Hey guys, make sure you do, no coaching sessions. I got 30 minutes. I got 15 minutes. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't do mentorship. If I did mentorship, I would probably charge like 5 grand. And guess what? It would be people that would buy it. It would be people that would buy it. But at the end of the day, um, I just feel like I can help out more people if I just do the content for free. You know what I'm saying? And help out people. I don't really need the money. I'm not trying to make a living off of mentorships. And I don't even want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because the 15 I gave away for free, only 6 people showed up. For free. I did a 4-week
well,
mentorship class for free for 15 people, only 6 people showed up. So,
I sent you a coffee. I need a
oh,
Starbucks
it was
next
you?
time. You got to chip
Oh,
in the. You got
oh,
to chip in the
appreciate it.
46 cents though. I think it's
You know, when I go to
5.46.
Starbucks, my bill is $15.
Man, what you getting? The
I get
donuts and
I get the
everything?
I get the Trenta strawberry refresher, light water, light ice, splash of lemon, all right? And then I usually get like a turkey pesto sandwich.
Oh,
That's
that's
my
like what's it? How they refer to that? Bouger? Bouger?
it ain't bougie, it's just man. It is what it is. I don't $5. A trip to Starbucks for $5. Nah, a trip to Starbucks for me is $15.
I
15
stopped
bucks.
earlier today before I came home and mine had a sign on the door that said closing at 5. They had 6 employees inside. I said, "Why are you guys closing at 5?" So, we don't have a manager for tonight. I said, "Wow, they need the manager to hold their hand."
What, Starbucks?
Yeah,
Man, a lot of Starbucks are having, well, just the restaurant industry, the retail industry are having employment issues just like every other industry. You go to a store and there's a sign now saying, we'll be back in an hour. It's just one person manning the whole store. And then they got to take a
yeah.
break. They got to go to the bathroom. They got to shut everything down. It's different now, man. People still don't want to work. You know what I'm saying? This boss culture thing has really um, just ruined society as far as employment is concerned. Everybody wants to be a boss. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being an entrepreneur. But I think eventually it's going to get to a point where, like, listen, we need people to still work for other people. We need people to work. So, um, hopefully this boss culture thing, and like I'm saying, there's nothing wrong with being your own boss, but hopefully this boss culture thing eventually dissipates. Um, and kind of gets back to some sort of form of
I think
normality.
people are gonna have no choice pretty soon. They're gonna start getting hungry. And their wives are gonna start telling you, "You better go get a job. We got bills to pay."
Yeah. Yo, squad, gonna have to run this back. Just got back back in town from a Michigan run. Hey, it's the walk. I saw you message me in the DM. I'm gonna get back to you. I didn't even read it. I just saw you message me. I've been busy this weekend. So everybody that's been messaging me, I swear to you, I'm gonna get back to everybody tomorrow. Everybody tomorrow. I'm gonna get back to everybody tomorrow. I want honest dialogue. I'm not here to waste anyone's time. Yeah, you're gonna get honesty with me, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. I'll always keep it funky with you. So you definitely gonna get that here. Man, Mark, I got the times messed up. Yeah, I don't live stream on Monday. I'm just replacing yesterday because yesterday was my birthday, so I didn't do a show yesterday. So I'm just replacing yesterday's show today. So don't expect to see me on a Monday unless I didn't do a show on a Sunday. But I plan on being here all the
What did you
Sundays to
hit?
come.
38?
38, I wish. 43.
Oh shit!
Yeah, man, I'm an OG,
Wait, you a little
man.
bit older than Kirk?
I think Kirk will be 43 this year too. So I'm probably a few months older than him.
So I'm like a
OG,
grandfather then compared to you guys.
like an older brother. I don't think you old enough to be my father. But you 50?
Oh shit!
Or you about
Hey,
50?
I told Kirk last night though. Wait, when you hit 50, you get another burst of energy.
Oh yeah. Well, I got another
Yeah,
burst of energy at 39, 40. I got a burst of
yeah.
energy. I feel good, you know what I mean? I work out every day. I eat clean. Um, I don't got no stress, so I'm straight.
You ain't got no stress because you don't have those crazy women around you. We were talking about that. You
I
missed the
saw
show
I
last
saw
night?
I watched the show today because I didn't watch it yesterday. It's women around. It's
Uh
just
huh.
I choose. I'm not in a relationship right now, so it's just easier this way, man. You know what I mean? I
I agree.
don't like. I see like man, people be stressed out, man, when they be committed to people and stuff like that, and got all that worry, man. I ain't got time for that, man. I'm too busy chasing a bag. I've been in relationships. When I first started my business in 2010, I was in a relationship, and ultimately that relationship failed because I was busy building a business, right? Another relationship I was in the middle part, maybe like 4 or 5 years after being in business, after I built the business up successfully, I was in a relationship for another 4 or 5 years, right? And I worked my ass off during that relationship too. So, um, to me, it's just easier. And I heard y'all talk about it yesterday too. Y'all mentioned the fact that I don't have no kids. I think if I would have had kids, um, I wouldn't have got to the I wouldn't have seen the success that I saw. A lot of risks that I took, I wouldn't have been able to take those risks with a family. All right, so the sacrifices I made to be comfortable today, the hard work that I put in, then I wouldn't have been able to put that work in because I would have had to be there for juniors baseball game. I would have had to spend time
Yeah.
with the daughter or whatever. The risk that I were taking, I wouldn't have been able to take those risks because I had a family. So certain decisions that I said, you know what, even with like the cross docking, that was a big risk. A lot of investment went into that. I might not have been able to take that risk with the family because a lot of that money would have probably had to go into back to school clothes and this that I would have had to pay myself more because I got a family to take care of. All right, so that was a sacrifice uh, that I made. Do I regret it? Nah. If I had to do it all over again, I would. You know what I'm saying? I would, and it's just it is what it is. So and I know I was talking to somebody about sacrifice the other day. Listen, if you want to make it in business, it's gonna come with some sacrifice. All right, your sacrifice might be different from the next person's sacrifice. My sacrifice is gonna be different from the next person's sacrifice, but it's gonna be some sacrifice. You're gonna sacrifice something. All right, so I would be at the yard at 5:36 in the morning. Sometimes I wouldn't leave till 1 in the morning. Forget the trucking side. I still got a whole moving company. Moving season, I had trucks that sometimes would get stuck on the move and wouldn't come back to yard till 1, 2 in the morning. I had to be there. I had to be there. And then turn around and be back there at 6 in the morning again. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you can't be a family man when, you got that much responsibility. Listen, people having, listen, 15 trucks is not easy to manage. You're dealing with 30 something people, you're dealing with personalities, you're dealing with the trucks, you're dealing with issues, you're dealing with a plethora of logistics companies. I got, all these logistics companies, Select Express calling every 10 minutes. Hey, Mark, you got a truck that can pick up? We had this contractor do this or didn't do this. You got Dynamics calling. You got XPO calling. You got this person. Hey, Mark, this truck got into an accident. Hey, Mark, these two guys are fighting on the truck. Hey, Mark, this truck had a tire blowout. Like, that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Hey, Mark, this job gonna take about, man, we gonna be here all day. You're gonna have to figure out, reroute another truck to go do our next move. We ain't gonna make it. This job gonna take all day. So it's just issues. Not only that, then I'm running a U-Haul dealership. So I'm a U-Haul dealer too. So I got that aspect of the business, So I got what, 10, 15 U-Haul trucks, like 3 auto transporters, 2 or 3 tow dollies, 2 or 3 trailers. Got that aspect of the business running. So it's just a lot, man. It was a lot. It was a lot, during my heyday. It was a lot to deal with. And there's no way I would have been able to
Mark,
have
you
a
can
family,
post the link
start a
and let
family.
someone else on.
I don't know why. I never tried it with Ecamm, and I don't even think I want to try it because I don't have an overlay built out for a third person, so I don't know how it's
Oh,
gonna look. I don't know how it's gonna look. So, God willing, if I'm successful, I'll have Mark, Kirk, and Axel channel posted on all 3 sides of my first truck. Yeah, but I'll still appreciate you. Still drop knowledge every lie. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Uh. Yo, what up? What up? Happy birthday. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Whitley, we can't talk about those
My
amphibians.
dude is not.
We're not up.
You have to get the right one. Actually, stress because of those lot lizards, right? See, you dealing with them lot lizards, man. See, you gotta just
I'm
learn
gonna
how
be
to be.
honest. Hey, listen, I'll be honest with you. In all my years, I have yet to see one.
Man, stop lying. I don't believe that.
I swear. I swear, I haven't seen
So
one. I hear
ain't
about them.
no, ain't no chick with her 2 front teeth missing came and knocked on your door while you was parked in
No,
the truck stop in the middle of the night knocking on your door.
no.
You just need to be a player. See, I heard you on Kirk's channel talking about going to massage parlors and all that. Man,
Well,
you
that's
you
different. Those aren't lot lizards.
you
That's
you
sushi.
see, you gotta be a player. You an OG, right? With some bread, right? So you can get any woman you want. You got bread, all right. You
Yeah,
just
I'd
gotta
rather
be more.
just go get a massage.
You gotta be more
Sauna,
player about it. You
shower.
gotta be more player about it, man. You gotta be more player about it. You said you got some black in you.
Yeah, you know what I was telling them, right? You know the history about. I should have looked that up about the
You,
Moors.
I watched the whole 3 hours today, man. I was hungover, so I'm just laying in bed watching you act a damn fool on this channel. So I saw the whole live. I saw the whole live.
Yeah, I got to bring a little excitement, but I'm not too happy today to bring any excitement because I just see a lot of nonsense going on. Even my team unit, I set them up so they can start self-dispatching.
Yeah.
And the guy's wife said, "How did you do this with all those vans before?" I said, "It's not easy. You're constantly bidding and switching, and you're booking two. Then they decide to book them at the same time, and it's not easy.
Somebody
Everyone
else
thinks
trying to
the
join. Let me
dispatch
see if
part."
I can add him real quick. Let me see what it's gonna look like. Hold on. RJ. Who's RJ?
Yeah, that's him.
Let's see how it works. I don't know. Assigned to guest two. Guest is in the green room. Let's see. I don't think I can. Add to right.
You want me to drop maybe so you can add him?
I mean, who is he? I don't know who he is. Do you
He's
know him?
another carrier. Yeah, I know him. I talk to him every other night.
Hold on. I think because I got this I got the overlay built out for just 2 people. I don't think it's gonna allow me assign them. I got them assigned, but it doesn't have a place and nowhere to put them. That's what the thing I think is. Hold on, let me see something. Let me see something. Let me move that out the way. Move this out the way. All right, well, he wasn't on there yet. That's why I guess that's muted themselves. Yeah, I don't add to left. Let's see, add to left. Assign to guest 3.
Maybe put me back in the green room. We'll let you do that.
No, I'm just probably not gonna be able to add them. I don't have a. See, I never built out a overlay for 3 people, so because I never really have that many people on. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna pop them in. So, but maybe another time. I'll probably build out an overlay for 3 people.
I think I should drop and maybe let him in because he's got a little knowledge too.
Okay. You want to drop and let him in? I'll drop and let him in. If he calls back, I'll just close you out.
Let me tell him.
Hey Mark, what is cross docking? Cross docking is like warehousing. So instead of you going to the third party logistics company to pick up the freight comes to you, and that way you can
Mark,
just go.
Drop.
All right, you can just go to final mile from your own warehouse, which ultimately saves you money, because the freight is already at your place.
I forgot how to drop. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop you. Hello. Guest has muted themselves. You gotta unmute. You gotta unmute your mic. Turn your camera on and unmute your mic. Check. Yeah, so that's cross docking. Just having your own warehouse and the freight is coming to you. It gets middle mile to you, and then you can final mile it from your own warehouse. All right, so I'm gonna take that off. Heard back in the day, truckers had the Ghostbuster sign with a lizard on it just to be left alone. I don't know. See, I never was an over the road guy, so I don't know about that one. I might start a relationship service for truckers. I see a need. Let's see. I think they got like some type of trucker dating app or something. I think I seen. All right. If there's any more questions, if not, then I'm going ahead and get on up out of this thing. It's getting late. I gotta get back on the ball tomorrow, man. Weekend is over. Partying is over. I gotta get back on the ball. So if it ain't no more questions, everybody that messaged me, DM me over the weekend, I'm gonna get back to y'all tomorrow. Let me see. Any more questions? Shout out to Axel for popping on. There was somebody else trying to pop on, but for some reason I couldn't bring them on. Maybe we'll try it again next week. What's more expensive, paying for cross docking to have the freight brought to you, or deadheading? Deadheading is more expensive. But here's the thing with cross docking, there's a bunch of stuff you're gonna need in order to operate your own warehouse. You're gonna need to get a forklift. All right, you're gonna need pallets. You're gonna need a rack system. All right. You're gonna need at least someone to man the warehouse, right? Because you're gonna have 4, 5, 6, 7 trucks coming in a day, right? Unloading freight, right? You're gonna need a lot of shrink wrap, right? Because you're doing reverse logistics as well, meaning you're gonna have to do pickups. So you're gonna deliver freight. Like Wayfair was like our biggest uh account that had like the volume for reverse logistics was just ridiculous. 50% of the stuff we delivered for Wayfair got returned, so you have to reschedule another truck to go pick the stuff back up like a week or 2 weeks later. All right, so when you're doing reverse logistics, you have a truck that does pickups, and then when that stuff gets back to the warehouse, you got to palletize that stuff and shrink it and get it ready for a middle mile carrier to come pick it up to take it back to the shipper. So and then there's other things that you have to purchase, security, right? Because now you got to make sure your security system is good, because now you got merchandise in there, right? All right. So dumpsters. I had to increase my dumpsters, right? Because uh when you're doing final mile delivery and it's coming from your warehouse, all that styrofoam and cardboard and all that packing stuff, you're responsible for discarding that when you do white glove. All right, so that came back to my facility and then it got discarded from there. So I had to pay for 2 more dumpsters. So I had to get 2 10 yarders, recycle containers. We already had a 4 yard dumpster, right? But I had to get those recycle containers for all that cardboard. It's cheaper than the garbage because it's recyclable, but I had to get those, and then I had to increase the pickups to twice a week, right? So it's just, a lot of variables that, you might not think of if you haven't done it, you know what I'm saying, that cost you more money. So ultimately, it costs more money to operate, you know what I'm saying, because all those variables that I just mentioned are things that cost money versus that sitting in that truck deadhead. Um, would I do a cross docking again? Probably not. Probably not. I would love to make pallets my niche. Uh, yeah, I mean, if you can make money, there's a lot of people that make good money off flipping pallets, I guess. It's a lane for it. It's definitely a lane for it. So, all right, y'all, I appreciate it. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I'm finna go to bed. I'm tired. I got a lot of work to do tomorrow. A lot of emails to respond to. A lot of DMs to respond to. So I'm gonna get back to y'all on that tomorrow. Before we get on up out of here, Thursday we got Cardinal Logistics coming on, senior manager, contractor recruiting, John. We're gonna be talking, gonna do a Q&A. That's this Thursday, March 2nd at 8 p.m. Make sure you guys are here for that. Also, I'm gonna be doing some other things coming up. I'm getting the members part of the YouTube together for everybody that pay for a membership. So I gotta do some stuff for y'all since y'all paying that monthly subscription. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a contact list of some of the logistics companies. I see a hard thing with people having is they're applying for some of these final mile logistics companies and they're not getting that turnaround time response is kind of something left to be desired. So I've talked to some of the people at some of these companies, and they don't mind me giving out their information, their email, and their number. So I'm going to do for members only. I'm going to do like a contact sheet, and I'll post it in the community. Only members will be able to see it. Where I'm going to give you the direct contact information of the people that can get you pulled in. John is actually one of those people who we'll be talking to on Thursday. So if you have interest in Cardinal, then you need to be here. And got a bunch of other stuff coming up too. So other than that, I appreciate everybody for coming out. I'm gonna get ready for this show on Thursday, and If there's no more questions, then I'm gonna be about it this thing. Shout out to Pippi for being here tonight and holding down the fort. Shout out to Axel for coming on. And then Thursday, Pippi, just make sure we're gonna keep our eyes open. We zapping people. We zapping people Thursday. We zapping people, and then if you came in late, you might want to watch the beginning where I talked about your business accounting. It's an issue that I think a lot of people are having. Make sure you're taking care of your business so your business can take care of you. You can create a profitable trucking business if you do what you're supposed to do. You can make a lot of money in it, and when you decide that you want to retire, you can retire with being being that you can retire uh um making a lot of money. After you've made a lot of money, you've taken the money that you've made in your trucking and you created other streams of revenue, whether it's real estate, you've purchased other companies, you've built other companies, you've invested a lot of money into stocks and other things. So treat the business like a business and get all of it, get everything you can out of the business. All right. And the main thing is running the business effectively and efficiently and taking care of your books, knowing what you're paying yourself. Make sure you're paying yourself. Have some type of visual aid, some type of accounting so you know what's coming in and what's going out. So I'm gonna get out of here because I'm stumbling on my words. I'm tired. All right, so the words ain't coming out the way I want. So I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. I appreciate y'all. See y'all Thursday. I'm out.